Hello everyone and welcome back to the Deep Blue. How are you guys all doing? Hi guys, welcome back to the Deep Blue. I am Noira, the sea fox oneesan who serves live talks on the rocks. And yes, I'm about to have some whiskey today, which I think I deserve for the amount of work stress that I've been going through the whole day. Oh, you cannot do those redeems when I have these on. So I'm a refund that. And let me turn that off real quick. Sorry about that. Give me a second. How are you guys? Have you missed me, even though you just saw me yesterday? Well, some of you guys at least. Alright, welcome back to the Deep Blue, everyone. Thank you for waiting right outside. And I'm always happy to see such familiar names and faces back at the Deep Blue. Tough day at work. More like emotional stress more than anything. You know, emotional stressful situations are really great for, well, training your patience. But I would like to think that with every emotional stress that I get thrown at, that I get thrown with, I get to come out of it as a better person. That's my way of looking at such situations. I am such a fucking hopeful optimist, ain't I? Let me greet you guys all here. We see that Jason is the first over on Twitch side, followed up by Kyle and Salty and Sheena being the fourth and Dash Unknown being the fifth. Look at you guys, top 5, just like that. It's Jason, Kyle, Salty, Sheena, and Dash Unknown. Congrats, you 5. And I also see Harry and Valgray, and also Astu Raven and Slime Maverick. Charles, our Space Marine, Ninja, Simply the Clown. By the way, I had like spicy food prior to this, so I'm sorry if my voice sounds just a tad bit different. I see Ninja Monkey. Hi, Ninja. Thank you so much for putting out so much stuff, even though I haven't really been active with memeing as of lately, hey? And I see Sven and Rico and Cross9S and Discount Chatter and Mythos Potato Muncher, IVR, and Shu. Who else do I see here? Ayo, I Like Cheese, Neode, Luak, Ghost of Mint, and also Cross9S, thank you for being a title for 4 months straight. That's a quarter and a tad bit. Hope you've enjoyed your stay here. And I think that's it. And Karma Wolfie and Rick Odd. Hello. Sorry, I also saw someone... CJ Deadpool as well. Thank you for being a title for 16 months. 16 months is a very long time. That's crazy. That's mad. Thank you, you loyal titlings, for staying by the Deep Blue, even through all the scuff that we've gone through and the different phases that we've gone through. I hope you still enjoy your stay here at the Deep Blue and keep coming back. But hey, no pressure. Just like my recent video, it's totally okay if you guys watch other VTubers, of course, as long as you pay the toll fee. But yes, it is totally fine. You've been forgotten? What do you mean you've been forgotten? I literally said your name, Valgray. Sorry, let me quickly go through chat here. Did I miss anything? Yes, Ikazen not here. Where's Ikazen? I guess he's busy with... Nowadays, he's not even like busy with cheesecakes as much. I think Ikazen has just been busy with work. And hey, if his work is flourishing, we're all happy, aren't we? My oneesan, my Oshi is the realest god. She is a real one, yeah. Well, thanks. What do I say about that? Thank you, guys. Thank you for trusting your souls with me. Your souls. I know nothing about souls. We're no cult. And who told you I was a god? I joke about it. Doesn't mean I'm exactly a god. But who knows? You wouldn't know anyway. People would totally buy whiskey if there was a shrine to put it at. What are you talking about? Of course there's a shrine to put it at. I mean, where's the whiskey at? The model looks perfectly smooth today. Seems like the issue is resolved. Yeah, I think the issue is mostly when I use my model whilst I play Clay Obscure. I don't know if that's like that particular map in Clay Obscure that's tough on my GPU or something, but I did download a recent GPU driver, and it literally put there fixed stability issues on Clay Obscure. I haven't tested it again, but I hopefully it works out, because I tried putting Clay Obscure on and it still takes like 64% of my GPU, which doesn't make sense, honestly. OBS takes like what, 15 to 20%. My vtubing takes another 20%. Thus 100%. I don't think a game should be taking 60% or 70% of your GPU at medium, right? That's a little tad bit too heavy, no? I'll trust Noira with my soul. Are you sure? I'm responsible. I just don't show you guys the many times that I've been kind of drunk. I don't know if you should fully trust me with everything, you know? And even with the things that I say, you guys should always take it with a grain of salt, like a wise sea fox would, you know? Because always remember that you guys are your own individual beings with your own set of experiences, and thus never fully let someone dictate what you should do. Or, you know, there's wisdom in always questioning it. To a certain extent. I mean, don't do it until you become a little bit too annoying, but like, you get what I mean? Always a healthy amount of skepticism around. My brother came over to see my grandfather. Completely forgot I also lived here. Oh, that's kind of cute though. But hey, I hope you had a good catch-up session with your bro. I had shared dream catchers. I saw the deep dream catchers. How many dream catchers have you made in total, Charles? I'm curious. Sorry about yesterday's stream. I was catching up on it and saw you had to resort to PNG model. Yeah, that was weird. It's really weird. I hope it doesn't happen again. Ugh. Maybe one day I can get like a different set of PC that's like dedicated for streaming. Thus I wouldn't have these problems whilst playing games. But I didn't think I'd ever run into like problems with a decently stacked GPU, you know, 4080s. They're pretty decent, right? But then again, VTubing in general is like quite GPU taxing. So I think I gotta be a little bit more mindful about that. Hope the 2.0 model doesn't require so much resources. Oh, it will. I'm pretty sure that the new model will be a little bit more taxing than my current model. But we'll figure it out when it happens. Never hurts to dad a little? Yeah. Hi, Paper Doll. We're not a cult, so don't hear what the others are saying. We're not a cult. Let's confess my offerings went to Steam sale. It's okay. You can make up and absolve your sins some other time and buy me whiskey for some other time. What have you guys bought from the Steam sale? You guys bought anything interesting? Hi there, Jazzberry. How was Uma Musume? Uma Musume was so good. I can't wait to play it again, man. I haven't played it today, but I'm looking forward to it. I haven't linked my account on my mobile, so I need to do that. Oh, I made a new account on my phone, and the role was shittier than the one I had on stream, so I'm like, yeah, nah, fuck it. I'll default to my stream account. So I'm looking forward to that. Visionary, thank you for the 5 gifted on Twitch. Thank you for your offerings towards the shrine. Hey, Visionary, I hope you will be able to find your online group of people that you can talk about for long hours with and have amazing topic discussions with. That is my blessing for you. Not that I'm a god or anything, but hey, nothing wrong with giving a little bit of optimistic stuff for people, right? Thank you, Visionary, for starting a hype train too. Thank you. Hold on, let me read the chat that I missed. Dual PC setup, maybe one for streaming and one for gaming. Yeah, that is the dream of any streamer, I feel like, so that you have one PC that's dedicated for streaming resources and VTubing, the other one that's just for gaming. That is the dream. Imagine how much it'll cost in electricity though. Damn, 76 is crazy. And hey, you keep doing that. I think it always kind of comforts the soul a tad bit when you indulge in your hobbies, you know? Unless they have summer sale, so buy what you want while you still can. Clear Obscure is on a 10% discount if you guys have been looking to try out Clear Obscure. So get that, I believe. I haven't really browsed the whole library of Steam sale items, so I don't really know. But hopefully I get to do that. I don't know, probably I would get to do that. But hey, I'm happy with my current backlog, honestly. I haven't even looked at the Steam sale. I'm too irresponsible. Yeah, if you know, I think everyone knows themselves best. So if you know that you will end up binging and you're in no way, you're not in a position to be able to binge, you might want to be careful. What the latest Nekopara eroge visual novel with Steam discount? Nekopara! Isn't Nekopara the one with... Oh, you know what I want? Wait, Nekopara is the one with cat boys, right? Or am I like confusing that with something else? I actually want to play this game called Bunny Garden, but I don't know if I'll get banned on YouTube for it. And also, I might be a little bit too loud when I play such games on stream. You guys already know how loud I was with like the dating games and like Uma Musume I've played. I can get pretty loud, and I know it's like early mon for like a lot of you guys, right? So I don't want to be too loud for y'all's early mon sometimes. Wapper, thank you for being a tidely for 16 months straight. Thank you. Thank you for your loyalty. Me been buying many games from this Steam summer sales. Lost count how much I spent, even though even if I would not play them all, but I support the industry. And that is nice. That is beautiful. I do think that, you know, some people can be pretty stingy with games, or like when you download like apps on your phone and you use a lot, but you always opt for the free option. From my POV, it's always like, hey, if this app does something significant for you, like is of value to you, like it helps you save time, or it's actually useful to you and you'd like to show some appreciation, then of course do something that can help them financially, like subscribe to their premium or buy the game and stuff like that, you know, if you have the means to do so. So yes, I'm fully for supporting and buying the games that you reckon provide a lot of value to you. Uma Bug got even Noira. Yeah, Uma Musume is fun. Games that I will never play, like the last set of games that I bought from last sale. Yeah, honestly, same. I still have like a bunch of games that I haven't played. I have a question. If I bought a game and I've never played it, can I still refund it? Even though I haven't played it? But it's been like a long time. Like I think I bought like a few games like a year ago that I have not played. Super Chato, arigato. Hero the boy, thank you. Thank you for the super chat and your offering towards the shrine. I hope that you get to see some very divine mecha girl art. Mecha girls are hot, bro. I don't know why I said that. Probably because you mentioned something about Mecha Break. What is Mecha Break? TLDR it for me. Wapper, thank you for the gifted as well and the additional offering towards the shrine. Thank you, Wapper. And I hope your coffee this morning tastes really nice. Hi there, Bondrude. Sorry, I'm still catching up with chat. Your shows are so helpful, especially the morning advice short. Oh, have some of you guys actually tried out that morning advice? Because ever since I learned about that, I've always done it. And there's a huge difference between me having my phone near me and not. Merch idea with big dark blue robes that say we are not a cult. No, I'm not gonna make cult robes because we're not a cult. Excuse me. Sorry, catching up. Oh, you guys are quite chatty today now. Hey. Would my hobby be a danger to Freddy since he can kill you in your dreams? My hobby could can. Is that like Five Nights at Freddy sort of reference? Five Nights at... Because I know nothing about that game. I've never played it. I don't touch horror games. Jason, thank you for the gifted over to Mythos, our tidling, our swolling. Thank you. And Sheena, thank you for being a tidling on YouTube side for 13 months straight. 13 months, yatta! Dayo. Thank you. 13 months, that's a year and a month. Crazy. Crazy. Hi there, Centipede. Freddy Krueger, not fastest. Oh, I have no idea. I don't watch horror games. I don't play horror games. I don't watch horror stuff in general. So if you guys make like horror references, I honestly would not know. Thank you. Thank you for your offer towards a shrine, Jason. I know who Freddy Krueger is, but I've never particularly watched it. Oh, I recently watched, have I told you guys that I've recently watched 28 Days Later? It's so pretty. Like, I feel like old movies, when they're shot in film, they just have a certain beautiful aesthetic and vibe to them. And 28 Days Later, despite being like a relatively slow zombie sort of movie, it's shot very beautifully. I really like it. Bonnie Garden is definitely a game I'll play by myself. Wait, I mean, Bonnie Garden is not NSFW, right? What is Blasphemous? Heard about that movie, never watched it. How was it? I like it because of the aesthetics, more so than the movie itself, I guess. The aesthetics and the composition is really beautiful. And I heard that the new 28 years later, is that it? 28 years later? It's the same director as the one who made 28 Days Later. So I do want to see if they can replicate that vibe as with film camera back then. I do wonder, like, what's the main difference between film camera and like older films versus the more modern ones? Why is it that film camera kind of makes me feel certain things more or view things a certain way compared to like modern shot movies, I guess? Dark Souls game, but in 2D. Ooh, that's interesting. Hi there, Ryan. Castlevania means Dark Souls. Oh, by the way, did someone answer about the Steam thing? Does anyone know if I could still refund? Because I bought Remnant 2. I've never played it, but I bought it like a year ago, I think, because it was on sale. I never played it. Thank you, Baba. Clap them cheeks. And Ryan, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Deep Blue. Did you hear Ironheart got its first 3 episodes out? Hold on, there's a hydrate, right? I want to drink my whiskey. Cheers, guys. Cheers. Let me drink my whiskey for these good chats and good vibes. Ryan Dogman, thank you for your offering towards the shrine. Thank you for the cheer. Appreciate it. And thank you for forwarding the hype train even more. Thank you, Ryan. I hope that tomorrow is going to be a sunny, beautiful weather for you, Ryan. Neo, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Deep Blue. 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks are in the same universe. I mean, I heard 28 years is a little bit different. I don't know. 28 Weeks Later. Oh yeah, I've watched 28 Weeks Later. Have I? Yeah, I did. It didn't leave much of an impression to me. Oh yeah, it's the one with the 2 kids, right? It's like, okay. It's okay. I prefer 28 Days Later, but I feel like a lot of people would prefer 28 Weeks Later's pacing compared to 28 Days. Because for me, the slow pacing was okay because I was mostly appreciating the aesthetics part of things. More so than the pacing and the story. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And I think it's a pretty interesting observation that, that 28 Days Later is one of the main inspirations of how zombie movies are made nowadays. And you can really, knowing that, you can really see how it has inspired series such as Walking Dead and everything, like the tension and how they use silence and how the build-up happens. I think it's very interesting. Very curious. Steam refund is max 2 weeks. Oh, GG. I cannot refund it. Okay, thanks guys, thanks. I cannot refund by Remnant apparently. That's okay. I'll deal with my decisions, the consequences of my decisions. Shaun of the Dead is peak. Forget 28 Days Later. What's Shaun of the Dead? I personally love the movie Daybreakers. Oh, Daybreakers is so stylish. I love stylish movies. You know, like Sinners. I feel like Sinners is a very stylish movie. I love such flair. Plus, Sinners aesthetics is really pretty, but like it's also very stylish. I love very stylish, aesthetically stylish movies, because I think it really gives you the perspective of how creative movies can get. Sorry. Zombieland. I don't think I've ever watched Zombieland. I don't think I've even watched what's the chittering ghoul that kind of chitters with its teeth. I don't want to try to make the sound, but do you guys know what I mean? I think it's World War Z. I have not watched that. I have not watched a lot of zombie movies. I really should. See, I don't mind zombie movies. I don't mind thriller. I just don't like horror. You haven't seen Sinners yet? I've been told it's great. Yeah, Sinners is great. And also, I feel like it's a movie that can kind of make you think further. So it's kind of up to your own interpretation and stuff like that. And I really love thought-invoking stuff, right, in general. So Sinners was pretty great. Wes Anderson movies are the epitome of aesthetic uniqueness. Oh, definitely. Wes Anderson and Wong Kar-wai. If you guys see my aesthetics in general and the stuff that I post on social media, well, images of me in general, you guys would see that I get quite inspired by a lot of cinematic aesthetics. Let me sit down. Table Kun is listening to me today. Damn, isn't that crazy? He's being a good boy. Played the game, didn't watch the movie. Oh, World War Z. Right, it's a game as well. Yeah. I forgot that it's actually a game as well. Zombie comedy is rare, especially when it's actually funny. What's a zombie comedy that you guys know? I can't recall any off the top of my head. Is Daybreak considered one? Because I think Daybreak was like kind of funny, but it's mostly still serious. I don't know if there's any... I don't know if I've watched any like zombie comedy stuff. Apparently my cat likes your voice. He's curled up on my side and purring. Oh, that's cute. Do I have talent as a cat whisperer? Shaun of the Dead. Ah, I see. Noira, you could watch a movie called Perfect Days. This movie was shot in 2023 and it has so freaking good slice of life aesthetics. I think you'd like that movie for good. Perfect Days. We'll check it out. Talking about really nice slice of life aesthetics. Recently, The Summer Hikari Died came out, and I was like, oh my god, the aesthetics in this anime is actually fucking crazy. And then I looked it up. I looked up about the summer that Hikari died, and I found out it's horror. I'm like, what the fuck? This is a very pretty horror movie. I think it's the prettiest horror anime, I've ever seen. Beautiful, very beautiful. The slice of life aesthetics is peak. Speaking of zombie genre, I've been playing Dying Light in recent days. Dying Light was fun. I hate getting scared by parkouring zombies. Shaun of the Dead is a zombie comedy. Ah, I see. Never thought to ask this, but do you have any pets? If not, what kind of pet would you want if you had time and resources to care for it? I do, but it's at my family home, not my place. Yes, so I don't have them with me. I have a Shiba Inu, guys. People who used to watch me way back when would know his name's Jinbei. It's very cute, and he's old. I think he's going like, what, 12 years now. So yes, I have a pet. I see him every once in a while, but like, because currently the place I stay at doesn't really allow pets, I don't currently have a pet. I can't take zombies seriously because they are aged, smell, and have holes. They seem cheese-like for my taste. Would you try zombie meat? Anyone like cheese? Century Nut, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Deep Blue. Yeah, and his eyesight is kind of depreciating, if not really bad already. But he's kind of at the age where it's kind of risky for him to get his cataracts removed. So he's just like that, which is kind of sad, but he's still a happy trapper. Yeah, Shiba Inus are quite tough. They're more like cats than dogs, I feel like. I'm good, Century. How are you? I think Zombie Meat might be a little past its expiry date. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I would ever try Zombie Meat. Plans for the weekends? So there's this, in my area, there's this burger festival that I'm keen with going to. So there's a burger festival I want to check out. And I think I'm having a basketball practice sesh, and there's paddle, and what else is there? I can't remember. But this week is a little bit more chill. So this weekend, I actually have plans to kind of stay in a little bit more and work on content, and also record a cover that I think I want to release going towards 2.0 debut. It's going to be... I might as well tell you guys. It's gonna be Hosier's Too Sweet. At least that's what I've decided right now. If it changes, that's... Well, if I change my mind, it might change. But for now, it's Hosier's Too Sweet. Because I feel like I've promised you guys to cover that song for the longest time. And I haven't done it. Corruptronics, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Deep Blue. I just realized that I have different names on all 3 platforms I follow Noira. And I'm sure she has no idea. Yeah, I would not know. I would not know. Burger Festival sounds interesting. Yeah, I'll take pictures. And I don't know. I feel like burgers in my country don't have as much flair as, say, American burgers or the burgers I see in Australia. You know? So, I feel like it's gonna be... You guys are gonna see it and y'all are gonna be like, that looks tiny as fuck. You know? But I'll take pictures, and maybe if there are decent ones, I'll take pictures. How about that? No, Noira is 3D again. Yeah, you guys like being immersion broken like that? I also immersion broke recently. I mean, Did you guys see the video I put on Discord? Because Jason bought me a coffee scale recently. I took a video of me prepping coffee, which I think looks aesthetic as hell. Yeah, VTubers are people too. Yeah, but it's okay, at least for you guys to consider me as an anime person, you know? Nicholas from YouTube, Nick's from Discord. I dropped the Sleep Token songs on Discord. Ah, right. Yeah, I also need to do that, right? I haven't checked it out, though. Thank you for the hydrate. Let me take a sip of my whiskey. I have eaten monitor lizard meat. I recently saw a monitor lizard swimming in the water, like I think a few days ago. It's big. I'm more into shawarma rather than burgers. Remember how I adored burgers when I was younger, and now my taste is a bit different. Have you guys tried Japanese hamburg with egg? Oh, that shit's so good. So recently I've been having this craving of wanting Japanese hamburg with a raw egg, because I've been seeing a lot of I've been seeing some posts on Instagram kind of posting it. There's this really popular spot in Japan where people queue up, and for brekkie they eat like Japanese hamburg with raw egg on rice, and I'm like, why does that look so good? Gator tastes like chicken. Yeah, surprisingly, after having lived in Australia for a tad bit, I still have not tried kangaroo meat, nor croc meat. So yeah. No, but it sounds delicious. Yeah. It's, I think, I had hamburg today and I'm very happy. I've been craving it for a tad while. I've tried smash burgers recently. I've actually been wondering what's up with like the trend of smash burgers recently. I feel like it's a really recent thing, right? I'm okay with smash burgers. I mean, I feel like there's not much difference between like a normal burger and a smash burger, other than, you know, it's easier to eat because it's not as thick. But I do like being able to have the juiciness of the patty when I eat a burger. Hi there, ISSR. I've seen your coffee prepping, very chilly video. You could shoot some really aesthetic IRL videos. I try, but you know, it's hard to shoot aesthetic stuff when you're trying not to dox yourself. If you noticed, I used to do this series called Just a Blob, right? Which is basically what I do nowadays. Like, I talk about stuff and I yap about stuff, mostly live. But then I used to include also a lot of aesthetic IRL videos within it as well. That was my shot at trying to shoot more IRL aesthetic stuff. My try with it. I don't know how many of you guys have seen that. I kangaroo semi-regularly? Wait, how do you eat kangaroo semi-regularly? And why? Do you see a burger the better? I agree. I agree. Let me drink. Good stuff. I buy it from the grocery store and it is good meat for you. Is it because, like, I don't know, is kangaroo burger like perhaps leaner than, say, beef or something? Is that why? I live in PH and haven't tasted croc meat yet. Did you miss making Just a Blob videos? I kind of miss it, honestly. Nowadays, I get my fix of aesthetic videos via, obviously, stuff like I do right now. I'm very happy with making aesthetic videos with my VTubing, with my model, with my VTuber model, virtually. I just wish I had a 3D model. I feel like I could play around with the composition a tad bit more if I did. But hey, I can't be picky when I have none, right? And I get my fix of aesthetic videos and photos via mostly my Instagram nowadays. I take very aesthetic pictures for my Instagram stories. It's not even for like people, I just like taking very aesthetic pictures in general. It's not as good as a bear. You've eaten bear? Seriously? Emu meat has special fats and oils? How does emu meat taste? Emu oil capsules? Like what? Like fish oil? VR chat Noira would go so hard. I know, guys, eventually, right? Maybe one day we'll grow big enough until to the point that we can actually give a shot at 3D VTubing. Oh, I hope one day that day comes. I can like play around with so much in 3D. I always get jealous of like the VTubers who have a 3D model. And I'm always like, why don't you strive to take very aesthetic videos and pictures with your 3D model? I know some VTubers do, but I know some other VTubers don't really do that. Probably because like aesthetics is just not one of their priorities, I guess. For me, I really enjoy it. I really like pretty looking stuff. Would be nice if emu was farmed like Roo and as available in the major supermarkets. As readily available. Is Roo farmed? I didn't even know that kangaroos were farmed. I know, I was surprised to know that deer was farmed in New Zealand because, like, you know, New Zealand apparently has very high, they have more cattle than humans in New Zealand. And as when I did my New Zealand travels, which I have not uploaded, by the way, I forgot about that. Every once in a while I would see like a patch of land with sheep and deer, and then sometimes just a patch of land full of deer for venison and everything. And I'm like, that is something new. I've never seen that before. I've never just seen deers being raised for meat. That was kind of new for me. Evening, Alcatraz. You're dissecting a paper. What's the topic about, Alcatraz? I always order alligator meat when it's on the menu. Why? Is it like for a little bit of a challenge? Or is it because you like it? Probably craziest thing I've eaten was candied insects. Not nearly as bad as the idea is presented. Candied insects. I believe a lot of people do like, I don't know, very dry, fried grasshoppers and stuff like that. They're pretty good sources of protein, right? It feels like some dystopian food source. But I've heard of it. I've heard of it. I don't know if I would. I don't like bugs. Bear, gator, emu, ostrich, squirrel, kangaroo, elk, bison, water buffalo, mountain lion? Okay, that one's new. I've never heard anyone try mountain lion. What does mountain lion taste like? I would assume mountain lions would taste gamey just because of how strong they are, like how roo meat can be a little bit gamey, right? I've seen roo jerky in city supermarkets. I've tried roo jerky. There's a certain smell to it that I don't particularly like. You love gator meat, fried or grilled. Graph theory, very rigorous stuff, which I am very much not familiar with. What is graph theory? What is that, maths or something? Do you enjoy hot dogs by chance? Of course. Who doesn't enjoy hot dogs? I found out recently that a good way to cook your sausages is via air frying it. I watched a recent YouTube video that was basically condoning it and being like, come on, air frying is the best way to cook hot dogs. What the hell are you guys doing? It's the best way to cook sausages. Bugs would be supplementary. Yeah. All these exotic meats are a lot better for you than the standard meats because of how much we have changed those animals over the years from farming them. That's fair. Deer is lean and low in fat. It's high in protein, and I personally like it. Venison is pretty good, yeah, when I did try it. I tried my first venison when I was in New Zealand. It was like beef, but it had a certain earthy smell or taste to it, which I didn't particularly not like. It was kind of nice. Yeah, I had like a venison pie. It was really good. Study of graph relationships and distance min-maxing and pathfinding. So kind of like statistics, is it? Do you, I don't know, chuck in some chi and stuff? Oh, the things that I barely remember from statistics. I've had air fried sausages. Comes out quite good. I'm going to try that over the weekends. I'm going to get some sausages and I'm going to air fry them. I find it quite fascinating, but it's very abstract and very rigorous. Really hoping I will be able to make it for this course, and more than that, hope your evening is doing great. Hey, I hope that you will make it through the course. I hope that the logic sticks with you, and then you'll find that, hey, it's not as easy. It's not as hard as I thought once you get the hang of it. I hope that happens to you. Costco hot dogs sound good. We don't have Costco. The most we have is like IKEA. So I can't say much about that. By the way, have you guys seen that one of my recent videos is still gaining traction, which is crazy? The one about like understanding life better via figuring out your values. And look, I read all comments on YouTube, right? And it's interesting, the comments I've been getting on that video. I've apparently started appealing to a good range of what I assume are philosophers. And I'm like, look, I talk about life, but I am not ready to unpack how the pursuit of meaning can be meaningless and how that goes into the theory of philosophy and everything like that. Like, damn, I don't know if I know nothing about philosophy, bro. I just like talking about life. But I don't know the deepest side of philosophy at all. So I'm like, I don't know if I can answer this. More like, wait, sorry, I missed chat. More like logic. Seeing that routes are possible, give it a certain graph. And finding the shortest and most efficient routes from one vertex to another. I see. Noira talked too deep, time to meet with the other scholars. We're not a cult, by the way. Hi, the Imperial Gamer. Thanks for dropping by. I don't know. Philosophy intimidates me because I feel like the videos I make are mostly just about the things that I've experienced and thought of myself, like my own observations I do some research, sure, but I don't study it. You get what I mean? I research out of curiosity, but I don't really get that deep. So it kind of scares me sometimes and intimidates me when some people start asking the deeper side of things and I'm like, I'm not really sure what you're asking and I'm really not sure whether I can answer that. You appeal to people who are still trying to find themselves and you're helping them through that because you're honest about how you feel and think, which I think is awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I hope so. Because I think for that video in particular, some people, I feel like, who are commenting kind of are like what are you trying to say? I don't understand. Or like, no, you're wrong. That's like the general comments with YouTube, right? And that's just how the internet is, I guess. That's why I've kind of stopped responding to YouTube comments in general. Because even if you say in your video that you're just saying what you're observing and you're not really pushing a certain narrative for people and you're not forcing them to listen to you, people on YouTube still comment in such ways, you know what I mean? Either because they're not listening, or they did not watch the full video, or they just wanna say something. It is what it is. Yeah, which is why I think my preference with like boundaries when it comes to YouTube comments, I don't mind interacting with them, like by dropping likes and stuff like that. You guys have probably seen it. But I prefer responding to people via streams, because that way I can explain myself better, because I feel like there's no amount of YouTube comments that's going to fully explain my stance in a convincing sort of way. If someone questions me about something, I prefer to explaining that colloquially and like in speech, because that way I can ask the right questions and find out what exactly they're asking. Because sometimes people can ask a certain question like A, but you understand it in a different way, because, or their communication skills are shit and you misunderstand, you know, such things. Noira is going to be remembered as a philosopher in 100 years. Oh my god, I hope not. I don't think I would be. I don't think I could ever be at peace with getting such attention. Talking about life is exactly what philosophy is about. So I guess you kind of thought of different philosophies through talks with us titans on the Deep Blue. Yeah, it's true. But like, I feel like I can't claim the title or the topic of philosophy if I don't know about philosophy or philosophers or the history. That's what I feel like. That's why I never really try to I guess attribute myself to philosophy. Sound life advice is not equal to big brain on human behaviors. That I don't know. Because sometimes I don't know. Like, some people have said that I'm a self-help VTuber, but personally I feel like I'm not, because all I really say is that, hey, this is what I did, and if people happen to find value in that, then I'm happy. But most of the times I always just say, this is what I did and these are my observations, and you can do whatever with it. So, question for Noira. Recently I had a day that had been pretty glum because nothing went as planned. Each thing individually wasn't a big deal, but compounded, it all kind of fell on me. I'm doing better and picking up the pieces, but curious about how you would approach and deal with something like that, where everything feels shit and feels like everything is going against you and everything in life is going against you. I think that it's okay to go through such things. It happens. And I think you just, for me, the way I think about it is like, when bad shit happens, it's mostly probability and RNG, rather than, okay, something out there has something personal against me. It's either it's just pure coincidence, or you're just overthinking it. By thinking in that way, I guess I kind of get over things much chiller. Like, I'm pretty easy with those sort of things, and I'm kind of confident in being able to still lead a decent life despite everything. So I think I just slowly go through it and pick myself back up, knowing that I've done so before and I could probably do it again. That's how I go through it, I guess. Sorry, I don't really have any solid advice, like, because part of it, I guess, is just because I'm a hopeful optimist. Being a self-help cult is better than paying a psychiatrist. No. I still always advocate for professional help, you know, because self-help is good to a certain extent. But I've said this in the most recent video as well. when you do self-help and you do retrospection and reflection, you are limited by your own thoughts and biases and way of thinking and mindset. Versus if you seek professional help in which they listen to you and can tailor that experience for you, where they ask the right questions and direct you towards the right way when needed, it's a very different experience. And you get like a third person sort of POV who can kind of see it from like outside of the box in a certain way. I mean, I've gone through therapy before, or I've talked with a psychologist before, and it's a very different experience compared to, say, self-reflection. Thank you for the hydrate. Tier list of different vibes between good vibes and bad vibes. What do you mean? Tier list of what in particular, Tim the Enchanter? I definitely fumble over my words all the time. Oh no, I still fumble as well, but I try to do better every time. I think with streaming to you guys, it helps. I mean, you guys can obviously see it with the amount of things that I mispronounce and then you guys correct me. And then I slowly become a little bit more confident with saying that word and using it in casual speech. You guys are part of the reason I can speak so well. PP Daster, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Deep Blue. And also Arkaya and Night of Silence on YouTube side, thanks for the sub. Sorry, I'm still catching up with chat. YouTube is probably the more rural version Facebook of video media consumption. PhD on philosophy. I don't know if philosophy is something I would want a PhD in, nor is it something I want to study. But like, I don't mind indulging myself in some philosophical frameworks every once in a while when I'm curious. Just like what I did with Ikigai, the whole video, which was like a whole thing about a certain Japanese philosophy. That was very interesting to me. Yeah, I think I don't mind indulging in it, but I don't know if I would want like formal study in philosophy. Odd question, but do you plan on using X still after the most recent AI stuff that went down? What's the most recent AI stuff that went down? Is it something I don't know? I haven't really been paying attention too much on X, honestly. Or Twitter. I actually never call it X, guys. I do not have a philosophy and PhD. And no, I did not major in psychology. I'm just a very curious person who's very self-aware. And I like understanding things and making sense of things. Thus, you have moi, the sea fox. Historians gotta be digging this channel up 1,000 years later, debating whether it was a cult or self-help group or a game club. Please, no. Historians, if you happen to come upon this channel one day, do know that first of all, we're not a cult. And second of all, we're not a self-help group. Third of all, I'm not a professional. And fourth, the Deep Blue is an awesome place. Very wholesome, good vibes. And I think that's really what the goal is at the end of the day, right? That we share good vibes. Whilst being healthily self-aware and having thought-invoking conversations and discussions, which I think is of great value. I enjoy such things. Yeah, I don't know if that helped you, Ninja, but I hope it at least provided some sort of perspective, hey? Murphy's Laws, I've learned to accept it and keep going. Hi there, Rick Jazzy Roll. Streaming is technically a form of public speaking, and that does wonders for helping to pronounce words well. Oh, definitely. Colloquially, yes. But also public speaking is a big part of public speaking is also body language. I personally, I don't mind public speaking, but I don't like performing. That's why I could never be an idol, guys. But I don't mind like singing in closed spaces, you know, very wholesome, just down to earth sort of vibes. I don't like performing though, because it's a whole different thing. Yeah, and also since we're talking about therapy, there's literally nothing wrong about wanting to have someone else listen to your stuff and see if it actually makes sense from their perspective, because that's exactly what therapy is, right? Except this person happens to also be pretty professional and they've studied that shit, so they have a very interesting perspective about it. That's literally what therapy is. There's nothing wrong about that, and I think honestly everyone needs it because, well, you know, sometimes your friends probably aren't the best place to ask for advice sometimes, you know, because they're probably going through their own shit, and once again they can only say things from their own, based on their own experiences and thoughts. So wouldn't you reckon it's nice to get the opinion of someone who can see it from a non-biased sort of perspective? I think it's nice. And also when it comes to friends, sometimes they end up saying things that they just say to make you feel better, or because they don't want to compromise your friendship with them. But when it comes to seeking professional help or with therapy, it's purely professional, meaning they will say what's needed without other things on the line, except for maybe, yeah, without other things on the line. Yeah. When I was experiencing the worst period of my life, I went to a psychologist. You should just live through it, and I think that's really good advice. When you try to evade your bad times, you miss actually vast amount of life experience. That's how it is in general, right? I think when you try to avoid things, you're just procrastinating having to deal with it. And it's generally better to always face it and go through it. It is what it is. Good morning, Tramper. I wish streaming took off more on X purely because X stream sounds so cool. X stream sounds like porn, dude. Derek. Why would you want to see streams on X, man? It seriously sounds like porn. Historian, she's lying and holding us captive in her basement. Send a time machine, please. Damn! No, don't believe her. Don't believe what they're saying, historians. There's a theory that future archaeologists will conclude Mickey Mouse was a god. Perhaps. And I think they would also conclude that a lot of idols were gods or had some form of cult. VTubers as well, yes. Now I'm imagining a historian in the future trying to decipher what Noira is saying, because language has evolved and no one understands what she's saying. Ooh, then I'll probably be an old, archaic, ancient god then, eh? And I will be filled with mystery, because like, what is this ancient language? What doth she speak of? What doth she speaketh of? Have a good one, Cross. Thanks for dropping by. I had a psychology subject for masters. Some psychologists can write a sentence of length of 3 pages. Also, they can explain the same concept in a 1-minute video. I mean, that's, I think, the thing with being very well studied, is that often you fail to see other things. It's the same thing, like it's the curse of mastery, or like being experienced in a certain something. You're kind of boxed in by your own experiences and your own knowledge, to the point that sometimes you can't think out of the box, and sometimes that makes you less creative or less explorative about certain problems and ideas. That's always been the curse of knowledge, right? Like, for example, for me, I guess, I don't know if I can say this, but like I guess I might touch on some subjects of philosophy, but because I don't know anything about philosophy, I tend to end up packaging it in a way that feels more layman's or like more simplified, because I don't know anything about it. You know, in that sort of sense. Nico, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Deep Blue. Wounds from a friend can be trusted, but an enemy multiples kisses. True friends will tell you what you need most to make you better, rather than saying what you want to hear. Yeah, but everyone's different, right? Although that's true, that true friends would do so, but sometimes people might come from a certain background where they've been, say, they've had a bad experience of telling the truth, and thus they might not want to. Or they just really need your friendship right now and don't want to compromise it, thus they kind of don't want to say the truth. There are many reasons, because there's just more variables in when you're being a friend, when you have a certain friendly relationship with someone versus, say, just a purely professional relationship. It's the same thing with work. How sometimes you can be more productive when you're not particularly friends with them, because it's like no bullshit working, versus, say, sometimes when you're too friendly with, like, say, your team, sometimes you might feel a little bit too, you don't want to be the devil's advocate. Those sort of dynamics. It annoys me when people aren't honest with their friends on how friends are screwing up their own lives. I mean, I agree to a certain extent, but I also understand that, like I said earlier, sometimes certain experiences can form people's decisions that I don't think is particularly their fault, if that makes sense. Can you really blame someone if the last time that they told the truth to a certain friend that it just fucked it all up? And thus that kind of makes them not want to tell the full truth. I mean, sure, to a certain extent you can and say that, oh, you're like childish for doing that, or you're not wise or something for doing that or making that decision. But you can't really, I don't know. It's just an experience. And you can't really, in a sense, for me at least, you can't really blame them because you don't know what it's like in their shoes. You know, they've been growing up in a certain way to the point that maybe such a decision makes sense. I guess that's why I kind of let go of things quite easy when it comes to dealing with people, you know, with their mistakes. My general rule is that as long as you don't repeat it, it's fine. Like if I've told you off once and you still do it again, then that I can question, because it's not like I didn't give you a warning, you know? That's also my same rule when it comes to moderating the community, where it's like, okay, if I see that you're doing something that's kind of iffy and I tell you about it and I don't immediately ban you, but then you repeat it again, even though I've warned you before, then I'm totally gonna ban you. Can't wait to put this video on X streams. Oh my god, that does really just sound like porn. Sorry, I am gonna skim through chat. I got a lot of hard and harsh stuff happened to me. I really changed, become more grounded as a wise person. I always say this, but like usually the more interesting and the wiser someone is, it's probably because they've gone through a lot of shit. It's like every shitty shit that is thrown at you is an opportunity for you to become a better person after it. That sort of way. A lot of the times your friends may not express honesty towards you due to your own reaction towards them. Maybe you've got great friends, but you get confrontational whenever faced with the truth. And even if there's an attempt to make it easy for you, you do not accept and aggravate the situation. Your friends in the desire to keep the friendship and peace drop it all together. No. That's true. Like I said, I think it's a little bit more complex. Like, that's why I can't fully blame someone for sometimes putting out a white lie. Because sometimes there's something... It's not that simple. You know what I mean? Maybe certain experiences have made them... make that decision, or maybe it's the way that you react, or maybe it's just a situation and the timing. Usually there's much more to it. Yeah. I might struggle to say the raw truth because from my experience people don't appreciate the honesty unless it's honest praise. Yeah, and I mean we also ought to know that a lot of people don't really get to train their emotional control or emotional awareness that much growing up, meaning they don't handle their emotions well. Like they very reactionary and they feel things and they don't know what to do with it, and thus it might end up with them doing very sporadic things and unpredictable things. So there are of course those sort of people. But it's not everyone. As with everything, it's not everyone. Always consider every individual as their own individual self with their own set of unique experiences and their own set of everything. Love your tattoos. I want to get more for my own body. How many tats do you have? Thank you. Good morning, Tommy. Honestly, listening to you does help my mental health quite a bit. Not going to go into details, but it's been rough lately. Hey, and I'm not going to ask for the details either. I think that's the least I can hope for. Even if the things that I say don't really particularly help you in your sort of situation, because I think it's unrealistic to kind of expect that my observations and what I say can be a catch-all solution for everything in everyone's lives. But that's why I at least keep the good vibes rule, meaning that even if not, that's what I always want to keep consistent in all of my content, is the good vibes. The good vibes. And I'm glad that it can contribute to whatever you're going through with your life. Also, once again, thank you to everyone who dropped offerings on the shrine today. Thank you so much. Thank you, Rev, for the hydrate. You've got great multifaceted thinking, Noira, even if you don't get into the academics of philosophy or therapy. I do believe on a casual basis you'd enjoy going about these topics. Oh yeah, definitely. I do think you'd love reading academic books around them on a beginner basis. Probably, yeah. I think the thing is I'm very much motivated by curiosity most of the times. So I don't like casually... I mean, I read books on psychology and stuff when it does pique my interest, but it just really depends on my natural curiosity what I tend to happen to read up upon today or tomorrow or whenever. Yeah, right now I've been very interested in, of course, emotional intelligence, because that's a book I've been reading for forever and I haven't finished. I think it has at least been, I don't know, four months, and I still haven't finished that book. But it's a really good book. It's just, to me, it feels like a little bit hard to read because it's like facts upon facts. It's almost like a textbook, you know. But it's really interesting stuff when I do read it. It's just kind of hard for me to kind of start reading it. You know what that's like? When you know you love reading the book, but sometimes you just can't get yourself motivated enough to pick the book up. It's like when you try to go to the gym. That's what I go through with this book. One of the lightest ones on the grid at the moment. How's Tideling's Alpine car looking though? We're a samurai. Although I don't really know much about racing. Though I do know that apparently the new F1 movie is pretty good. Have any of you guys watched it? And also the new Superman movie. I have not watched it. Have you guys watched it? Do you have moments when a thought becomes so loud, any outside noise hurts your senses or brain in the middle of it? I think it doesn't hurt my brain, but I tend to shut everything out when that happens because I think a lot, right? And I speak a lot in my brain. So sometimes I could be entertaining a certain thought and I just don't hear anything outside of that. Or you know when your thoughts are so loud that you just stop chewing? I do that when I eat and I chew. Sometimes like I'm thinking about something so hard that I just stop chewing. Yeah, because I don't know, it's a weird thing. Like, how is it that the sound of chewing can intrude your thoughts? It doesn't make sense, but it's what I do. I think that people can handle, honestly, you just have to make sure that when you criticize someone, you have to give them evidence and point out how they can improve in a way. Yeah, but it really depends on the person though. Because say, for example, someone has narcissistic disorder, yeah? Where they will do everything that is possible to kind of not have the blame on them. You can't expect facts to be able to, well, convince them. So yeah, I think a good amount of people, I would say, would probably be convinced by facts. But the other side of it is that it also depends how they are mentally and emotionally intelligently. And also it depends on their values, because sometimes certain values I feel like can override facts, meaning if they don't value facts and information accuracy, rather they value, say, community, meaning that would mean that they would trust the things that people in their community say versus the facts that are on paper, you know, or like they value family more than facts or science, say. They would trust people within what their family says versus, say, scientific stuff. So there's also like values in play there, which is why I made the whole video about values, right, guys? But then some people in the comments, some of them commented like, I don't think you should dictate your life through values because you'd then be limiting yourself, which is, I'm like, yeah, sure, you do. When honestly, that video, I'm not trying to dictate how you live via values. No. I'm just giving a perspective on how you can take a look at life via values. Because for me, it made sense, you know, how values can matter for a lot of things. Like, for example, like just now, how it can convince how some people process information. Values kind of plays into that too, because when information is given to them, values kind of determine, I feel like, whether they will find that information valid or not, whether they're willing to accept that information or not. It would also determine how they react to that information, or like how they make decisions and stuff like that. Konnichiwa, Squid Cow. Deeper ni yokoso. You limit yourself by living via values to the things you want to do. I think values can restrict you if you think that you're purely defined by values. You shouldn't be. If anything, you use values to kind of help you figure stuff out, but it doesn't mean that values never change. Your values change all the time, I feel like. So I think knowing that, I mean, don't let yourself be dictated by pieces of stuff on paper. Like, come on, humans are much more complex than that. I think we can agree on that. Everyone can agree on that. So use it more as like a sort of helping tool or a guide, if anything, values. Because like I said, they're not the most reliable because they can change sometimes without you realizing. I'm pretty sure if you did a value assessment of, say, 5 years ago compared to now, there's a huge difference. Maybe not a huge, but there's probably some difference. It really depends on how much experiences you go through in your life. If you happen to live your life pretty much the same from 5 years ago up till now, maybe your values wouldn't change as much. But generally, I think your values would change if you go through some things. Where did I leave off? F1 was fun, buy the books, but everyone does their part real well. Yeah, I'm waiting for it to come on streaming services. Because I want to watch it. You limit yourself. Oh, sorry. No worries, Decatardix. I'm often a person who just wants to enjoy peace and quiet unless the discussion is interesting. And that's fine. Called Principle-Based Living. A book called 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Ah, yes, the most popular book ever. Like every successful person or quote-unquote successful person always recommends that book. I honestly haven't read it, so I can't comment much on it. But I do get curious about why everyone recommends it. I will eventually. I've seen a summary of the book, but I haven't really read much about it. So I'm gonna hold my comments and my opinions about it until I give it a full read. It's a classic, apparently. This is a weird question, but what would your opinion be on someone who valued music? My opinion? That's okay? What's wrong with valuing music? I think in general, what someone values, there's no right or wrong, honestly. Yeah, I don't think there's a right or wrong to values. It can only be right or wrong when put into context, I guess, in a way. For example, if you say value community and meaning the people around you and what the people around you say, you might succumb to say, you might end up believing in gossip, and that gossip might hurt someone without you realizing it. It's wrong in that way when put into context. You get what I mean? But values itself, what you value and what your values are, I don't think they're like technically right or wrong. But I see people saying that people can't handle brutal honesty, and it's just them saying this is what is wrong with you without anything else. That's fair. That's fair. Because then you're just a dickhead, right? Sometimes when you just say, no, you're wrong, I'm right. But then you don't give a convincing anything to back it up. Then you're just a dickhead. You're an asshole. That's fair. Values are things you make up. I don't know if it's things that I make up. And no, I don't think I'm particularly smart, okay? I think I'm only able to say things like this because of the things I read up. Have a good one, Centipede. Hope you enjoyed your stay here. Nanka arimasu ka? What does that mean? Something is something here? ごめん、私の日本語はちょっと上手じゃない上手じゃねえ。でもyeah, I don't know how else to say it. I can only read hiragana mostly. 漢字はちょっと難しいだから、ひらがなだけをI don't know how to say it in Japanese. So I'm sorry, I'm not really the best with Japanese. Unless when I'm tipsy. Well, that's a different story. I always say that. Nice try at least. Yeah. I tried. It's okay. Shu can speak Japanese. So Shu can like do whatever Japanese is needed in chat or translate for me. Right, Shu? Values is not equal to truth, but human instinct always leans to the former regardless if it's right or wrong, despite the truth of it. It speaks to your idea of values. You aren't wrong. Values change. Principles are something more complex that form who you are and create the values. Value money, family, pets, hobbies, etc. Perhaps. Of course, there's always a room of difference in understanding of what values actually mean to you, or what your idea of values are and the definition of it. There's of course like that, but I don't know. Principles, the difference between principles and values. I feel like principles are something you choose to believe in, even if it's like it could be against your values, but it's something you try to hold yourself with. And I think it's like believing in something, like say religion. You know how some people can be better with religion or believing in religion? I'm not saying everyone, of course. But some people out there can do better by believing in something. I think that's similar with principles. At least that's my take on it. And nothing's wrong about that or anything. It's just a perspective and it's an observation. どんな音楽を something 言っても私は聞いてShe'll help! She'll help me! Decatonics. Oh, Ara redeem. Wait. Ara. Oh, it's so cringe. Live by your principles first will help you make decisions too. Then do right by yourself instead of overcommitting to something that will create imbalance everywhere else. That I feel like, I don't know if you can outwardly just say that living by principles is the one way to live with, and that is the one and correct way to live. I don't know if you can say that. Or more like, I feel like everyone, knowing how different everyone can be, it might not apply to everyone, I feel like. Yeah. I know some people who don't particularly have principles, but they follow religion. You know what I mean? And I know some people who don't particularly have principles or feel, or at least as I have observed it, they don't have any particular strong thing that they hold close to them in terms of how they want to live their life. they're just like, oh, as long as I don't hurt anyone, I'm chill, you know? And they're okay. So yeah, I guess my opinion is that I don't know if you have to have principles to live life. I guess that's my stance on it. On topic of values changing, do you think that over time and thanks to social media, society has become more and more against the concept of change within people? Become more and more against the concept of change within people. If anything, wouldn't the exposure to social media and media in general kind of open up the perspective that a lot of people can change? Because I feel like that's what, when you have additional perspectives and globalization and multiple cultures just being exposed to you, I think you have a bigger view of like, okay, this is what I could be. So to a certain extent, I feel like it kind of gives you more of a you get to see the opportunities in which you could be different, and thus in that sense, wouldn't that give you more chances of changing? Jade? Believing in a community that upholds good values is good. Believing in a community running on toxic thoughts is joining a cult. Do we have toxic thoughts, guys? That I don't know. I don't particularly know what the definition of a cult is, okay? And I don't think it's, yeah, I don't particularly know what the definition, the true definition of a cult is and what it is defined by. So there's not much I can comment on that. All I know is that cult people wear robes and shit. But like I said, I feel like values aren't particularly polarized, like they're good or bad. I think values can only be framed as good or bad when they're put in a certain context and situationally. So like if you believe in, say, purity, I don't think that's necessarily bad. You know what I mean? Like even when you believe in, say, that you value community, that can still be a double-edged sword. It can go either way. It's like it's just a noun, but it doesn't define whether it's good or bad, if you get what I mean. If that makes sense. I'm big, you're small, I'm right, you're wrong. I think it's the quote. What quote is that? That's so impressive. I try. Have you ever wondered if isekai or alternate dimension Noira would have different values? I think it depends on what that alternate dimension is. Like what the environment is and like how I grew up and everything like that. Let me clarify what I meant, as in like they believe that music is a necessity for life. It inspires people to do better and be better. What do you think of someone who listened to a song in a spot in time they needed it and it inspires them to give that energy they feel back to the world in some day? Nothing's wrong with it. I think that's the only opinion I have. If that is the way that they can live life well without hurting anyone, so be it. And I mean, bottom line, I think that's what it is, right? As long as you don't hurt yourself, the people around you, and anyone else, I think you're fine. You can do whatever. You don't always have to make a very fucking world-changing impact to be a valuable person in that sort of sense. You live... Life is killing time until you die. You live your own life and you die yourself. You die... you eventually die, so it's whatever you make most out of it. If you appreciate certain things and you're able to indulge in such things in a way that doesn't hurt other people, then you're doing good. Your Japanese wasn't bad. Seems you got good foundation to build on. I think it's mostly because I'm just very rusty with how I speak in Japanese. I think I'm fine with listening to Japanese. 日本語は勉強にそんなにしですか? What does that mean, Shu? Oh man! No. Sorry, I can barely read the kanji. Shoot, tell me how to say that. Sorry, my Japanese is kind of shit and I can't read kanji. If you'd like your Japanese translated, go to YouTube or something like that. Principles never change because they're foundational, while values can change with time because of what happens in your life. That's fair. Principles don't really change because it's like they're words that you believe in. So they don't really change. Meaning if you continue to believe a certain thing, it'll always be there. As long as you choose to believe it. They can change if you choose to not believe him, but they don't particularly change in that sort of sense, I guess. Like I said, it's mostly like it's a belief thing. At least I think so. Whether it's formally correct or not, I don't know, since I don't particularly know what is the subject. Philosophy? I have not really partaken in the study of it. Nor have I read much about it, as much as I'd like to form a decent opinion about it. I'm more a fact-based morality person, and I watch and know people who are religious who can come to the same conclusions and moral beliefs. Yeah, it's like how you can, okay, to say it simply, you can be a good person with or without religion. You can still end up as a good person regardless. May it be from, say, a set of beliefs, a set of religion, beliefs from religion, principles, or I don't know, certain experiences. You can end up at the same conclusion sometimes. Theory of globalization. Oh, I'm so behind on chat. I'm sorry, I need to go a bit faster with reading. Sheesh. Where would you not like to live but most likely be able to survive or thrive in a said fictional universe if you'd get an isekai to? I like medieval fantasy. Like, I like castles and shit, but I can't imagine the hygiene of everything back in the days. So I don't know if I want to get isekai to a fantasy medieval setting, unless they have like magic toilets and shit. That'd be nice. Magic toilets, magic showers, that'd be amazing. But where would I not like to live? Where would I not like to live? I don't know. What are the options? What are the options? I never believe someone is pure because they are still virgins, but even after becoming adults, they try to be good people and try to enjoy their... So, someone is pure because they became... What? Someone is pure, but even after becoming adults, they try to be good people. I'm not sure what I think about that because I'm not sure I'm understanding that statement well, random dude. Noun or misplaced or excessive admiration for a particular person or thing. Or system of religious veneration and devotion directed toward a particular figure or object. That could be a lot of things though. Say if you're very you very much admire a certain person or a certain movie or say, I don't know, a certain sport, then technically everything could generally be a cult, right? It's just a matter of whether there's religious structure to it or not in a certain sense. I mean, fan clubs, are they not a close thing to club? I mean, sorry, to a cult. What's the difference between a fan club and a cult? They should have specified better in the sense of for the better, bouncing back from your mistakes and coming back to the public eye as a better individual. Ah, fair. Purity to me is not becoming cruel, bitter, or jaded with the world. I think purity can be like different things for different people. It's just a matter of definition. What is my thought about purity? I have no idea. I have never really questioned myself what I think is the definition of purity or what it means. I do not know. But I do believe in the merits of still having a certain amount of healthy childlike wonder to things. Or not being afraid to express your childish tendencies. There was this thing I read about, like a quick summary of a book. I can't remember what it's called, but apparently they say that when it comes to talking with people and responding to them, you can be in one of three mindsets or states. Three states. I believe the three states are child state, adult, and parent. Meaning that you can respond to a person like a child would, or you could, which is more like reflexive and more sort of just reflexive, I guess, like just emotionally, for example. Or you could be an adult where you get to see it in a very objective sort of way with not much emotions attached to it. Or the third is as a parent, where it's more of like a parent teaching a child, or like just reacting as a parent would to a child. There are three states in which you respond to people when it comes to conversations. That is interesting because I think being able to choose between those three states in conversation can really make or break a conversation. So the whole idea of the book is that when you talk with someone or you're responding to someone, you need to being wise is being aware of which state you should be talking in that current situation. I'm not going to go on much about it because I can barely remember it, but let me see what the book is called. Adult, child, parent, state, conversation. Transactional analysis, ego states. That's what it's called. Ego states. Yeah, so it's called the transactional analysis ego states, functional ego states. So that's something that you guys can read about. And I think it's a pretty interesting way to kind of analyze how people interact with each other. I don't know how it's applicable to our day-to-day because I feel like I do these things sort of naturally, where you know when you're talking to a certain person and you kind of you can kind of observe them and be like, okay, I think it's a better way to respond to them in an objective sort of way, or just respond to them in just a happy sort of way, even when you're not particularly happy about it, but you don't want to make a big deal out of it. These things to me come naturally. I've never thought about it in such a framework, but it's an interesting thing to read about. Have a good one, Ghost of Mint. Oh, I'm so behind with chat. Oh my god. Oh, finally I caught up. You know what I just realized? This is the first time I've hung out in a just chatting stream for more than 30 minutes. That's probably a Steam achievement for me or something, right? Thank you. I'm happy you're enjoying your stay here, I guess. As I would assume that you enjoy your stay here if you're still here. Hey, you got recommended on my YouTube as a live feed. Just wanted to stop by and say your model looks really awesome. Well, thank you. Reminds me of some celestial goddess. Well. Thank you. I'm glad you find it looks nice. I'm glad that you find my model looking nice. If you decide to stay, I hope you enjoy your stay here. It's okay to be behind. You're a girl with lots to say. Truly. I do have a lot to say. And that's one of the reasons it's I feel like my chat doesn't particularly go that fast either, but I'm always behind with responding to chat. Because I generally have a lot to say. I'm sorry about that, guys. Sometimes I get excited about the things I have to say. Cup of hazelnut. Oh, hazelnut coffee sounds great. I'd love a cup of that. But alas, right now I'm enjoying my whiskey, so I'm pretty happy with my whiskey. Anti-Vandaler, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Deep Blue. And thank you for the hydrate, Jason. I'm 5 minutes late, but I'll drink. There's a redeem on Twitch for the title of customer service. If a certain titling would like the title of customer service, you may, if you have the right amount of channel points, and then I shall knight you with customer service, the title. It's part of just chatting experience. People chat and you won't get to all of them. It's sad to know that eventually if, say, I grow and I have more viewers when it comes to live streams, it's sad to know that I feel like I won't be able to read everything. Or I won't be able to at least respond to everyone aptly. I think it's kind of sad knowing that, but I try my best and I will continue to try my best. Because honestly, you guys bring up a lot of interesting stuff to talk about and a lot of interesting questions and talking points. So I would love to kind of indulge in all of them, I guess, in a sense. Hi, miss. I'm new here. Love the vibe. Good luck for your VTubing journey. Thank you, big bro. Thank you. External Mega, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Deep Blue. A three-way of talking to someone from ego states also just comes naturally to me, depending on who I am talking to and my position in their life. Maybe we should make a video about that, the ego states thing. I would assume that it could be pretty useful for someone who has a hard time figuring out how to talk to people or maintain a conversation. So the 3 ego states could be a decent framework, perhaps. Watashi tachi wa sou shimasu ka? What does that mean? Watashi tachi wa sou shimasu ka? Like one of the streamers I've watched during their COE. Oh, I've never seen someone abbreviate Clay Obscure like that. It looks like something that belongs on the periodic table. Clay Obscure playthrough, how invested he gets into replies. The number of chatters stretched his game out for like another 2 weeks. To be fair, my Claire Obscure playthrough is like how I think we're on our second month of playing Claire Obscure or something. But it's not because of the conversations, I feel like. It's mostly because I'm very stubborn with the way I want to play. I do a 1 HP build, right? And I like a good challenge, so whenever I don't manage to kill a boss with my 1 HP build, I get very stubborn with it, and that ends up with me like giving it like 5 or 6 tries or more. Like Serene was like, how many tries? 20? 17? 20? I don't remember. But playing Clay Obscure in that way is very fun for me, and it has resulted in me just, well, prolonging my game time, I guess. But I don't regret it. I like it. Cat Gonna Stream, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Deep Blue. So it can be a lot, but doable. True. Where is Google Translate when you need it? I hope someday I will not be able even to theoretically catch up chat, because how many people would be here? Ah, you mean you'd like to be big enough to the point that you can't keep up with chat? I mean, I think it's an inevitable result of growth, right? You can't keep up with everyone, just like how when you grow, you can't really reply to everyone's DM or respond to everyone in general, because alas, you're just one person. Kya anime kya rakuta? Anime kya rakuta? That's what Squid Cow is asking, but I don't know what that means. I mean, I don't know how to answer that because he's asking anime character. But yeah, I don't know. We'll deal with it. As much as I sometimes think about it and I worry about the point where I can't reply to everyone, I think it's just something that you just gotta go through with, and I'll deal with it when the time comes. I want to become a blur in chat and it starts glitching and buffering because too many people are here. Yeah. But wouldn't it start feeling a little bit lonely when you don't have like things to respond to, or you don't get to respond to people? I don't know. I'm gonna get ready for the day, but I have food for advice if I may interject. Have a hobby that works your brain and has your hands working on something, and one that makes you feel good. That's good advice. Have a good one, Crayman, and I hope your day is going to be swell. Thanks for dropping by, and I'm happy to hear that you mayhaps have enjoyed your time here. gonna get lost in the sea of chatters, but I'll always be here. I don't know. Maybe when that time comes, maybe we can do slow mode. Perhaps. Although I don't even know. You know what? Like, we don't have to talk about it. We don't even know if it's gonna happen or not, okay? I mean, to be fair, I stream at very weird hours, so I don't know what the chances are for me to grow to that size. At it! Generous Jim! Super chat though. No, not even a super chat. Thank you for the tip! Thank you for the tip. Thank you for your offering towards the shrine. This is always an option for people if your stream gets too big to reply to everyone. That... You're not wrong! You're not wrong! Damn! Thank you, Generous Jim, for your offering towards the shrine. And, hey, I hope that... let's see, what should I wish for you? What should my blessings be? Whatever you're going through, it's going... Wait, no. I reckon that your consistency is going to get you to places. Give it to someone who needs it. Come on, I give a blessing to everyone who, like, drops an offering at the shrine. Okay, that wasn't even a blessing. That was like a fucking fortune cookie. No. I'ma say that, hey, I hope that when you next order your coffee, it's gonna come out fast. Yeah? It's gonna get served fast. You don't even have to wait too long for it. That's my blessing to you. I'm not someone who dispenses fortune cookies. Come on. No. We give out blessings here for people who drop stuff on the shrine. So I can convince people that there is merit to dropping things to the shrine. But thank you. Seriously. Generous Jim. It means a lot, especially now that we're prepping still for 2.0. Can I double your blessing and give it to the next person? Sure, but how do you do that? We're not a cult. We are not a cult, Decatonics. We're not a cult. No, not a cult. We might have a shrine, but it doesn't mean we're a cult, okay? No. I don't know what you guys are talking about. We don't even have, like, structure to the tidelings. We only have tidelings and nightlings, and that's it. No structure. And maybe mods. Moderators and staff of the Deep Blue. It's legal to be a club. I mean, are we a club? I don't know. I just like to think of us like a community of wholesome people who like thoughtful discussions and conversations. That's it, right? On my mama, I swear we ain't a cult. Exactly, we're not a cult. You know what's up. Don't swear on your mama though, poor mama. You just popped up on my feed on my recommended. Love your accent. Thank you for liking my accent. And welcome, Tyler, to the Deep Blue. Hi there, Toast. There's racelings like us. Stop divvying up the tidelings, okay? Stop dividing up the tidelings. Are the mods shaped like merman? No. We have a ghost mod. We have Revenant, who's a ghost, pretty much. He's a spectre. We have Crown, who's like a crow guy, and then we have Vin. Yes, that's the current stuff that we have. We are patrons, yes. Hi there, Toast House. But hey, good conversations, guys. Good conversations on values. See, I love these sort of conversations. I love these sort of talks. Even though I like having these sort of talks. Cultlings. There are no cultlings. What are you talking about? Are those stars running through the side of the blue part of your hair? They are bubbles. Like, you know, have you ever like taken a little dip in the ocean and then you see some bubbles rise up? That's what they are. Ah, thank you for the hydrate. Ever play that game where you have someone guess a number between 1 and 10? No one has ever guessed the number I pick. It's always 3.14 pi. Of course, pi. You know, there was like a video I watched from Veritasium that was like really, I want to say interesting, but it was like mildly interesting. Like, you know how there's a subreddit of r/mildly interesting? Yeah, I feel like it belongs in that category. Do you guys know that when you ask someone to pick a random number for 1 to 100, there's a high fat chance that they will pick the number 37? And there are even magic tricks that are centered around that idea. Yeah, you guys can look it up, and there's like some weird, there's statistical evidence. Is there some logic behind it? Yes, there is some mathematical logic behind it as well that I cannot explain because I don't really know much about maths shit. I'm not a mathematician, but there is a video you can look up on it by Veritasium. So apparently the TLDR is that when you apply a certain formula to finding the best option, finding the best options is something, you will end up with the number 37. And the other one is that when you ask someone to pick a random number between 1 and 100, the numbers 3 and 7 feel the most random because say 5 feels a little bit too predictable, 9 doesn't feel random enough, but then 3 and 7 is very random. And thus 37 is the most popular, statistically most probable number to pick between 1 and 100. Believe it or not, most people think the same. Yeah. Favorite number is root 2? Is that what you have? Is that how you pronounce that mathematical symbol? Feels like it's something that I learned in high school that I don't remember anymore. Is that the root of 2? When someone asks to pick a number between 1 and 10, people often pick 7 very frequently. Yeah. And when 1 or 100 is not an option, usually the option of 3 or 7 is the most picked because it's kind of in the middle if you think about it, between 1 and 5 and 5 and 10. 3 and 7 is in the middle of both of that, so it feels the most random. Interesting stuff. Mildly interesting at least. Got some very funny idea of what makes a number random. Hey, it's not me. But it's interesting to think about how people define randomness, right? So the interesting thing about that whole discussion is that people's thoughts of what's random or not is not really random. Funnily enough, how they define randomness is not particularly random. Like, on what basis do you say that, okay, the number 5 doesn't feel random to me? Right? My favorite math is physics. I just trust them without understanding them. I can only understand words. Oh, that's like me when I start getting into the quantum physics part of YouTube. Hi there, Owl. Hope you enjoy your stay here then. I'm at work and get to watch VTubers while not busy. Hey, don't get in trouble for it though. Hope you didn't get in trouble. Hi there, Nolan. Me and the titlings are good. Might not be able to say goodbye. It's okay. You can spend your time here as much as you can. But hey, hopefully work day for you is not too stressful, hey? Hi there, Montana Gaming. Okay, I'm gonna drink some water. I'm running out of whiskey already. I sneaked myself an extra pour of whiskey today. But I still think I'm drinking a little bit too fast. Does the law of your does the law of your VTuber bottle live underwater? Nope. We don't live underwater, but I am a sea fox, by the way. But this is the deep blue. Actually, if you want to read more about my law, you can. Either on my website or on Discord. If you want to read it on my website, it's at noira.me. That's the link. Or actually, if you guys are not part of the Discord yet and you enjoy these sort of talks and these sort of vibes, I would suggest you guys to join in on the Discord because you guys can also pick your own notifications for my content, be it my uploads or my streams. So yeah, you also get to hang with the other titlings that have interesting discussions. Yeah, Decatonics has linked the Discord link. It's also in the YouTube description, or you can go to discord.gg/Noira. talking about Discord, right? I recently realized that we have reached our Discord milestone. We have reached 800 people on Discord. Isn't that fucking... No, sorry, 700. 700 people on Discord. That's kind of crazy, isn't it? 700? That's a lot of people. Though I know that a lot of people don't really partake in interacting on Discord. It might not be that thing, right? But I think regardless, it's still a crazy thing. Thanks, Toast. What do you think about how quantum physics breaks the logic we know? Are our current theories correct? If so, how do we cope with those new facts and make sense of them? Are our current theories correct? How do you prove whether they're correct or not? Is it proven by whether it makes sense or not? Or do we currently have the means to prove or disapprove them? That I do not know. Because as I know, it's at least the general notion of quantum physics is that a lot of people say that, okay, it sounds like a lot of... Often it sounds fiction. But also, I don't know enough about quantum physics to be able to have an informed opinion about it, I feel like. So I guess it's more like, do we have the means to prove or disapprove it? Not approve, to prove or disprove it, more like. 700 people and only like 20 of yapping there. Hey, a lot of people are lurkers on the internet. I think that's what I've learned. Especially with my YouTube videos and everything, a lot of people actually just view it and don't really comment. Like, look at my most recent, the values video. It has like, what, 8K views and has only so many comments. Or like, if you check my most viewed video, which is actually music, but like, don't look at that one. The loneliness epidemic one, there's only like a small handful of people who actually comment. A lot of people choose to lurk instead. That's actually what I do too. I like lurking. I don't really interact online in general because I don't really have the capacity to do so. I'm really someone who prefers to yap in present and face to face. Like now, like streaming. I like yapping this way or like face to face. I'm not really much of someone who types stuff on a screen and gets into heated discussions and stuff. Though I do like blog posts. I do like making posts. That's why I have a Substack where I put out posts every once in a while. But I can't maintain online conversations in general. Unfortunate. I've tried, but it's a very inconsistent sort of thing. Hi there, Kurt. Thanks for popping in, Kurt. Appreciate it. The web looks so good, but I don't really get what does directionally challenged means. It means I'm really bad with directions. I really am. It means that when I play games, I always get lost. That's what it means, rolling girl. We can evaluate the correctness of a theory by its capacity to predict events. But if we think about it that way, do we have a reasonable amount of events to actually prove the correctness of it? Like, what is even the correct amount of events to say that, okay, this is accurate enough for it to be correct? Simple Jack, super chat, arigato. Thank you for the super chat and your offering towards the shrine. I hope that within the next few days, you're going to have some very good conversations with people. I can only bless people with such surface level things, right? Thank you, Simple Jack. First time here, your model makes me happy. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like my model. Thank you. Osage Orange, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Deep Blue. And hi, DV Ika Volts. And on average, about 10% of views will like on most vids. Yeah, a lot of people don't like videos either. But hey, I don't know. Okay, I have a question. When someone on a video says like and subscribe, do you guys actually do it? Because I don't. I'm not really someone who likes videos either, because mostly I watch it and then I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool, and then I talk about it, but then I barely ever remember to like or subscribe. I mean, subscribe I do, but I don't like videos, mostly because I forget to. I mean, the theories are working. They predict the right results and answers, but there are stuff like Schrodinger's cat, which breaks my brain. Sometimes silence. I mean, also with that, right? I think whether something is correct or not, does it have to be 100% accurate or not? That's also like the other side of it. But anyway, I know nothing about quantum physics. I like listening to them, but nothing goes into my head about them. I don't remember anything about it ever. It's just something that I like watching on YouTube. It's like something I listen to but don't understand. Well, if this interesting talks is yapping, then what is yapping with a double P? I don't know. I'm about to hang out with my friend. It has been a joy listening to you again. Have a good one, Rev. Hope you have a nice time with your friend, hey? Have a good one. And yeah, I'm happy that you enjoyed your time here. But the amount of events to say it's correct, that's a very good point. It seems that we can never be 100% sure to reach the truth, but seems rational to conclude that we are approaching the truth as. True, but like how many occurrences does it have to be like that? Like for example, you can say that something is 100% accurate if it is say 100 out of 100, right? But what do we think about it when it's like say 50 times out of you don't know how many? But anyway, I'm just yapping. But thanks for entertaining that thought, Renan. I appreciate it. I don't like and subscribe unless I want to. Being told to do it won't make me. Ah, little rebel, aren't you? But no, even if like they tell me to like and subscribe, most of the times I don't remember to like, but I always subscribe. Like when I watch something that's interesting and I like their perspective and the way that they break things down or they think about it, I usually always subscribe. So rather, I'm really someone that when it comes to content or the stuff that I like seeing, I think I end up liking the way the video puts things into perspectives rather than whatever topics they indulge in. Like for example, I could be watching this video on music theory, which is not particularly something that I like going in depth with, but I enjoy understanding the way that the person has brought about this topic and broke it down and thought about it. I will still subscribe and I will still watch the other videos. So it doesn't even have to be a topic that I'm interested in. As long as they break it down in a way that's very interesting to me and I think it's a very good way of thinking about it and a thoughtful way to think about it, I usually subscribe. I like it when I feel like, but I never do it when they say. That's so interesting. You guys don't actually do it when people say like and subscribe. That's so interesting. It should be studied, dude. What's the philosophy, what's the psychology behind that? Is that a reverse psychology sort of thing? Or when they say like and subscribe, does it feel less genuine in a sort of way? If someone says like and sub every single video, I am much less likely to do either. What about Schrodinger's Twitch? What do you mean Schrodinger's Twitch? It goes over our heads and we don't know. I can subscribe to you because I liked your Greek talk streams. What do you mean Greek talk? And the things you were talking about in your videos. I'm glad you like the things I talk about. As like defos, especially since I always say this, but like whatever I come up, the videos that I do and the things that I talk about is really just random thoughts that I come across that I want to yap about. It's really not determined by anything. My manager, Vin, has once asked me like, how do you come up with topics? Do you like have a list and then you think about how effective it could be for the YouTube algorithm and stuff like that? And I'm like, no, not really. I make videos about things I'm currently interested in and I want to yap about. And then if I can make a convincing, if I can wrap it up in a way that's nice, then I'll make a video about it. Like if I can make like a good topic, conversation topic, and a good conclusion out of it, I will make a video about it. So coming from that sort of origin, I tend to not expect much with the performance of my videos. So it always surprises me when videos like go over 1K views. So thanks guys for checking my stuff out. Do you expect a numeric answer like 5 times to repeat a test? But to answer, we are able to build a quantum computer based on our current theory, so it's probably very accurate. That's fair. That's fair. I only subscribe to people who are smaller. The bigger names I watch would just pop in my recommended anyway. Oh, that's fair. That's actually fair. That's fair. Hi, the dissociative personality. Convos are still going well. The whole like and subscribe line practically gets in the way of the information I want to see, and it turns me off. That's fair. I meant free talk, but how did free talk get autocorrected to Greek talk? I thought for a second that you were meaning like all like philosophical talks, you know? How did free talk get autocorrected to Greek? Logic and quantum level is different from ours, and it legit don't know how or why, but how the fuck do I cope with it? It goes over our heads. A thing can exist and not exist at the same time. So, right? My ex, who was like a Thai Buddhist and eventually became a monk, he said that one of his principles, or I believe he said that one of the principles in his Buddhism, which I don't really know much about, but like I find quite intrigue in it, and it's very curious. He has said that there are some principles, there are just some things you shouldn't think about because it'll make you go crazy, and there's no point in it because of it. And one of them is like thinking about making sense of the universe, something like that. Thinking about the universe and the creation of the earth, because no matter how much you think about it, there's no particularly convincing way to prove or disprove it, and stuff like that. And also there's, if you think about it, there's minimal sense other than personal satisfaction. Making sense of the universe is basically, it can make you go crazy. I think that's just the general way of how he said things. So be careful about it. He's not saying don't, I guess, but he said that there are certain consequences of it, with it. For me, it doesn't bother me when they say like and subscribe. I only have 30 subs with YouTube. 2 of them are I know are IRL. What about Noira Seafolk? Just like Schrodinger's cat, she both exists and it doesn't exist at the same time. Yeah, guys, I'm just an anime girl on the internet. I both exist and don't exist. I'm both fictional and non-fictional. There can be no demonstrative argument to prove that those instances of which we have had no experience resemble those of which we have had experience. Let me read that again. There can be no demonstrative arguments to prove that those instances of which we have had no experience resemble. Yes, and that is also the general meaning that you can't assume that something is something that you've never experienced is similar to something you've experienced. That's TLDR what it is, right? And that's how I think about with everything in life in general too. Like how I think about, okay, if I experience event A today, I can't judge it when someone reacts differently when they experience that event A, because maybe they haven't had the set of experiences that I've experienced in my lifetime, nor have they been exposed to the same amount of events and experiences that I have been exposed to. That's how it is for everything, isn't it? Generous Gem, thank you for the follow on Twitch side. Welcome to the Deep Blue. Werner Heisenberg and Ernst Schrödinger are driving down the road late one night and they are stopped by a cop. Heisenberg rolls down the window and says, "Evening, officer." The cop asked, do you know how fast you were going? Heisenberg says, no, but I knew exactly where I was. The cop says, you were going exactly 143 kilometers per hour. Heisenberg says, great, now we're lost. The cop asks, do you mind if I look in your trunk? Schrodinger says, go ahead, all we have in there is a cat. The cop looks in the trunk and says, sorry to tell you, but your cat is dead. Schrodinger sighs and says, well, now he is. Ah, yes. I subscribe only if I like the author. I feel like if I like the video, if I subscribe every time I like something, it would be impossible to navigate through the list of subscriptions. I think YouTube has done an interesting thing with how they curate our suggested videos. I believe right now, at least from what I know of, it's like a combination of what you're subscribed to or who you're subscribed to, along with videos that you have recently watched and things that you have recently searched for in your search bar. So it's a unique combination of that for the whole algorithm. I kind of like the YouTube algo, like how it curates my watch feed. But often I do still find myself like going to my subscribed list and just looking via there. Your ex became a monk because of you? No, not because of me, or at least I don't think so. Damn, at least I don't think so. But apparently it's something he's always been wanting to do. Yeah. Today's your birthday. Happy birthday, Ryuga. Guys, titlings, can we give a warm happy birthday to Ryuga on YouTube side, please? Happy birthday. The deep blue feels very cozy. Well, I hope you enjoy the coziness, son. And thank you, Zia. So many people are saying beautiful model today. Damn. Thanks, guys. But if you compliment me too much, I might become a villain, you know? My ego might soar sky high and I become a villain who just wants world domination. How about that? What if you can never get me off my high horse? Nos, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Deep Blue. Noira, can you talk about how to go from surface level friendship to deeper level friendship where we reach closeness like siblings? That's where I get stuck with my friendships. For me, if you're thinking about it, then you probably shouldn't. I feel like with friendships and relationships, it should just be natural, no? Unless it's, say, something that's... I remember when I was younger, I was like trying to kind of prompt someone to become my best friend. That was me being weird because I felt like, okay, everyone needs a best friend. So can I make this person my best friend? So I'm like, do you want to be my best friend? And I think that's weird nowadays. At least this is my opinion. I think that with friendships and everything like that, don't care about the labels or what you hear in media. And don't care about like, you know, oh, you're my kyoda or we are fucking nakama. Despite whatever you see in anime and everything like that. Just do things naturally. Like, you know, talk when you talk. Be genuine about it. Have zero expectations. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. At least that's how I do it. And also, I think one of the thing that is, I wouldn't say over glorified, but it kind of makes people feel a little bad is the fact that you're kind of expected to have like very close friends or like best friends, you know, in media, in anime and everything like that. When in general, I feel like you don't really have to. For example, for me, some of the most memorable experiences I've had with people are often short-lived. Meaning, it could have been like within a span of say a few weeks or a few months or a few days, or it could have been like one night where we had drinks and had really nice talks. Those were like the memorable core memories for me. It doesn't have to come from a best friend. But also it's okay if it comes from a best friend. You get what I mean? But that's how it is for me. I do think that we shouldn't be defined by what is popular though. Just because like people out there have best friends and everything, if you happen to live your life well without one, that's totally okay. Best thing YouTube ever recommended me was you. Aw, thank you, Jason. But yet you are on Twitch. Why'd you decide to switch to Twitch side, Jason? Actually, let me ask you guys a question. If you guys could pick between either YouTube or Twitch, since for you guys who don't know, I stream on both. Which platform do you guys prefer watching on? Because I stream on both to give that option so that people can just watch my stuff wherever they prefer to, because I don't really mind. But like, do you guys personally have a preference? Do we only exist when Noira streams? Are we Schrodinger's chat? So you guys could technically be dead or alive? Is that what's happening, Genjitsu-sama? Hi, Genjitsu-sama, by the way. Your model is aesthetically pleasing? Thank you. And pretty voice? Thank you. Villain Noira would go hard. One day we'll get villain art. Right, guys? One day. When the Deep Blue grows and the Deep Blue has funds. Welcome to Eyes Only. We've talked about a lot of things. We even at one point talked about quantum physics, which is kind of crazy. I'm good, Lullaby. How are you? What are we doing? Damn, read like a book. I've recently been told by others that it should be natural. Ah, yeah, random dude. I've been through that phase. That's why I can say the things that I say. I even had this phase when I was younger that I jumped between multiple groups of friends because to me it made sense objectively and logically that if I don't find a best friend here right now, that maybe I'm not going through my options right. That was a weird phase. I don't really care so much about it anymore. If it happens, it happens. If I happen to get my core experiences from a short-lived time, then whatever. I think I take life as it's via its core experiences. You know how I said that I think that life is the pursuit of meaning? I feel that my life is meaningful when I gather core experiences and memories. To me. And those core experiences and memories also happen to be defined by my values and stuff like that, but that's a whole separate topic that I've already made a video of. But yeah, that's what life is to me. I like collecting core memories like they're Pokemon. Hello Mello, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Deep Blue. The voice of a VTuber is like everything for me since I'm blind. If you didn't say you were a fox in the description, I'd probably have been way off what you look like. What would you have assumed I looked like then, Tyler? Then I hope that my voice is decent, and I hope that your experience here at the Deep Blue is decent as well. YouTube, Twitch. I mean, technically, I feel like Twitch provides a little bit more tools for engagement, right? Like you have channel points redeem and stuff like that. Once thought a VTuber I watched was a dragon, but she's actually an elf. Ah! Watching streams on Twitch, the vibes are so much better. I also prefer to watch streams on Twitch. But the thing is, I rarely watch streams, so I'm rarely on Twitch. I like watching offline videos or clips. I prefer Twitch because I can passively support you via forced Twitch ads. Saying this non-sarcastically. Thank you! Thanks guys for y'all who sit through ads with the thought of supporting me. You guys are so kind. Thank you. I like Twitch because the chat actually fits on my screen here. I feel like for streaming, the UX on Twitch is better, personally. YouTube more convenient. Oh yes, YouTube is more convenient on TV, for example. For reals. Because it means that between sifting through actual videos, like proper offline videos or uploads, versus say live stream, it's easier on YouTube via a single app. On phone or on TV, I guess, anything. More convenient when you're not chatting much? Yeah, I would guess that I think YouTube is more convenient if you're not looking for you're not looking to engage, like via chat or channel redeem or whatever, right? YouTube is definitely more convenient and accessible. I don't think having a best friend is necessary. I do think conditionally is important. Be it a mentor, parent, sibling, friend. I think so too. Yeah. I think humans, after all, are social beings. So having someone to be close with that you can trust is, of course, very important. And being part of a group or a community is also important, just because of how the nature of humans are so social. Noira, you're a doll. Compliment I get too often, but thank you. People don't really say the compliments of cute or adorable. What color is Villain Noira? I don't know. What color is Villain Noira, guys? Villain Noira would be stylishly goth. Where can I show you after it's done? You can show, if you have fan art or anything, the best way to show it to me is via actually Reddit. That's probably the best way, because if you pop it up on Discord, you can pop it up on Discord as well, actually. Depends. But I usually suggest Reddit, because Reddit doesn't get flooded with live chat as much, so it doesn't get buried. But if you prefer Discord, you can also do so on Discord, lullaby. If you guys haven't joined Discord already, you can do so at discord.gg/Noira. We have thoughtful conversations, sometimes brain rot. And you get to hang out with the other titlings as well. And we also recently reached 700 Discord members, which is amazing. Our next milestone is 800, and it's crazy to think that we're soon approaching 1,000 Discord members. Isn't that mad? Who would have thought I would have a congregation of 700 titlings on Discord? Okay, I probably should not say congregation, but whatever the plural form of having titlings as a community is. I jump cruise because sometimes I felt like hanging with the nerdier kids, or one day with edgy kids. Most days was with the jogs. That's fair. You have a great voice, but the accent is confusing. Yeah, especially for you, Genjutsu-sama, right? Probably like somewhat angelish with big wings. Imagine if I was an angel VTuber with big fluffy wings, majestic fluffy wings. Wouldn't that be amazing? Don't you get YouTube ad money? I do. But YouTube, I don't really get much ad revenue because I feel like I don't really have many viewers in general, but I still do get ad revenue. But like the revenue I get from YouTube is definitely from you guys's memberships and super chatto on the offerings towards the shrine. So thanks guys for being so generous. Ad revenue is like a small part of it thus far. Maybe I'll get more ad revenue when I start getting more views on my videos, perhaps. But it's okay. I'm not banking on it or anything. I'm happy with whatever is happening right now. You guys are very kind and generous to me already. I usually have some muted art stream on Twitch on the second stream. I think it's more comfy than YouTube. The whole vibe is so chill. Makes me want to actively listen. That's fair. That's fair. Art streams are always very cozy, hey? I came here on Twitch to view. That means you prefer Twitch then, hey, Generous Jim? Red? Goth sounds better. Black, purple, or silver for Villain Noira. Hopefully, one day. We're not a cult, guys. I misspoke when I said congregation. I misspoke, okay? We're not a cult. A group of titlings is not called a cult. Excuse you. I came from the values videos. Yeah, see? Thank you, though, for checking out my yap about values. Have a good one, Red Samurai. Is it lagging on YouTube side? I actually watch another VTuber who has a similar name and vibe to you. She is hella chill. Ooh. Well, thank you for checking me out, though, and giving me a chance. I hope you enjoy your time here. I try to keep my general stream vibes chill, though honestly, when I play games, sometimes it's not as possible. Especially when I play games with very attractive fictional people, it's just harder. Or I play games like Clay Obscure. I can't help myself with exclaiming so much when it comes to Clay Obscure. Or Uma Musume. Oh my god, how do you even have a cozy, chill stream with Uma Musume? How do you even play Uma Musume without screaming and cheering for your favorite girl? Not lagging? Thank you. Thank you for the check. So cool to yap with you. Feels like I'm talking to a bestie of mine, Noira. Alas, you're only talking to an anime girl on the internet. I can only talk to you guys all at once and in public, okay? Can you guys imagine how streamers would handle it if all of their viewers started talking to them one-on-one via DMs? Whoever can do that is crazy. I don't think I realistically can do that. Plus, like I said previously, I'm really bad with texting and typing. I very much prefer live conversations like these. Even like IRL, when people text me, or when people try to hold a conversation with me via texting, I give up. I just, it's not my thing. I like face-to-face or live conversations. We are not a cult, would only a cult leader say. No, stop having that notion in your head. No, we're not a cult, guys. We're just a wholesome group of people who likes thoughtful conversations, right? Had to take a long phone call. Oh, I hope it wasn't anything bad, sure. But no, you didn't. And even if you did, VODs are always around. Let me try a riz on you. Really, you're gonna try to riz me? Are your eyes an ocean? Because I'm drowning in them day by day and I can't help. I don't know if I want people drowning on my watch. Despite the many times that I mentioned waterboarding people with salt water. I don't know if I want people drowning on my watch, but hey, good try. Not a cult yet. No, well, yeah, technically that's true. We're not a cult yet. What is your accent? I'm leaning to saying Australian, but I'm not sure. Even Tyler, honestly, even I'm not sure what my accent is. I think it's a mix of like stuff. Like I always say that it's somewhat Australian, but not really, because apparently the Australians refuse to say that my accent is Australian. So thus I cannot claim the Australian accent. Whatever it is, it's my accent. I don't even know. Whenever anyone asks that, I don't know what to tell them, man. I like texting over voice because I say things I shouldn't sometimes, and text lets me see what I'm about to say and the chance to change it. Yeah, I guess there's that, but I still prefer like talking in general. But with work, it's totally different, because sometimes with work or certain needs in conversations, you want to have documentation over certain things so that when a certain topic comes up, you have like receipts either to remember or prove someone wrong, right? To the point that you can't be faulted, sort of shit. Of course, I would prefer to have like a trail in text for those sort of things. Those are the things I would say via email or like via text or like Discord, whatever. Basically receipts. There's of course that. But in general, I prefer to have conversations in talking rather than purely texting via screen. Baywatch Noira edition. Are you gonna style me Pamela Anderson way? A la Pamela Anderson. It goes Aussie. No, I'm not gonna make a robe merch. Maybe bathrobes. That's cute. But no robe merch just yet. You have the posh mixed in there, but sometimes British pops in. I don't even know which part of my accent is British, honestly. Australian German sounding to me. Which part do you reckon sounds German? We had a 1-hour meeting for what could have been a 5-minute email vibes. Ah, yes, there's also that. But also sometimes it's the reverse, where sometimes you try to have things over text which could have been resolved within like a 5-minute call. It's a situational sort of thing, right? Gotta leave soon. Hope I can catch you in the future. Future cult leader. You guys, I swear. You guys are teaching the new people very wrong things. We're not a cult, guys. Once again, let me just say, we're not a cult. Thank you. Think about it, VTubing and free chatting is just modern day radio talk showing. Yes, but a little bit more real time, eh? You're much better than Pamela Anderson? Damn. That's quite a high praise, isn't it? Yes, we're not a cult. Did I miss something? Hold on. Let me go through chat. Lawyer mindset? I think it's because I like knowing that... Oh, no. Okay, one of the reasons I always say that I like having documentation or taking notes somewhere or having proof and receipts. First of all, I have really shitty memory. Right? So sometimes I would have to search my whatever things I said or whatever statement was made to kind of find out if I was right or wrong myself, because I just really have really bad memory. Second of all, I like knowing that I cannot be faulted. You know, I like having the confidence in like when I proclaim something, I know I ain't wrong. Or like when someone tries to fault me, I like the feeling that, okay, there's proof, you know, I like that. So that's two of that. Like one of my work ethics that I tell to people who work with me is that you gotta do things to an extent that you cannot be faulted. So say you're put on a project that's kind of fucking annoying, then you do all the necessary means that to the point that other people can be blamed but not you. That means you need to work well enough, you need to have the receipts, you need to show that you put in effort, and you need to show that you've, you know, done whatever you can. So even if the project tanks, you cannot be faulted. That's how I like to do my work. Just answered your question of what part of speech sounds British by saying in it. Oh, well, yeah. I don't know how I picked up in it, honestly. I think it's just a nice thing to say. Because I say right and ain't it, and then it just becomes in it. So, I don't know. It's just something I picked up along the way, I guess. My work is medical related. There's plenty of paperwork to cover one's ass. Yeah. And it's something I've learned along the way with professional experience, I guess. It's nice to have paper trail with everything. Or like digital trails with everything. Because then I think when you have paper trails, it can also resolve conflicts much easier. And, well, I guess things just become much more transparent in a way too. No, we do not want paper trails. Why? Why, Zach? Well, wicked, innit? And just, well, wicked, innit, bruv? I work in a hospital and paper trails will be the death of me. I do not like, if we're talking about like physical paper, that, yeah, I hate that because I lose paper all the time. I misplace things a lot. So definitely I always try to have everything virtual all the time. Have it on Google Sheets, on the cloud, not even like offline local storage. I would always have it on the cloud nowadays. That's how I keep most of my important things. So it's either has to be on the cloud or like on something online, such as like say your work project management platform or like your chat platform such as Discord, Slack, whatever. Knuckleby, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Deep Blue. And also new subscribers, Martin and Brandon. Thank you. I thought your Texas accent on Tuesday was pretty good. Oh, the one I did for Taiki Shuttle? Oh my, wait. Did I do a Texas? Oh, I did try to do a Texas accent. That was kind of questionable. Yeah. I know I could do a decent Valley Girl accent. I don't know how I drank my Texas accent. Alright, bro. It's well wicked, ain't it, Gov? Stop. Stop, Genjutsu. When you type like that, I can't help it. There's a squirrel in my beer. I'm also forgetful, so I write down birthdays, Father's and Mother's days, dates on paper, or any important dates. Hey, get on Google Calendar. My forgetful ass is so grateful to Google Calendar. Everything's on Google Calendar. Like even the things I'm supposed to do for the day, I time block it on Google Calendar because often I can forget. Like I plan something in the morning or like the day before and I can forget what I'm supposed to do for the day. That's something that happens to me, unfortunately. So I have everything on Google Calendar. Noira missed me complimenting her. She hates me, chat. What? Did you compliment me? Where? Where? Can you repeat it? Can you be a sweetie and repeat it, Zach? This is the way. No need to have stuff take unnecessary space. Space is expensive these days. That is true. Though, what are you talking about specifically? I've learned that ever since I started having my own space and have, you know, live on my own with my own space and everything. You know, when I used to live with my parents, with my family, I felt like I could buy things without thinking about storage. At least that's how I grew up. So, but nowadays that I have my own space, since we're on the topic of space, I'm very mindful with the things I buy, or more mindful with the things that I buy. And it's nice. Recently, I went back to my family home, and I opened the wardrobe, right? And I was like, how the fuck did I used to have so many clothes? What the hell? And nowadays, like, I think my wardrobe is maybe, I don't know, a fifth of the clothes that I have in my family home. It's crazy. Maybe not a fifth, maybe like a third or something. Hit me with the Texas accent. I'll rate it as a Texan. No, I'm so scared. Don't make me do it. The only time you'll catch me with an attempted Texan accent is if you catch me streaming Uma Musume again with Taiki Shuttle. That's the only time I'm gonna do it. I don't think you can just summon it, you know, from me. I can't. I'm embarrassed. POV, you're in a cult, but you're forced to watch the hottest VTuber. Why, thank you. But this is not a cult, Zach, so I don't know what you're talking about, but thank you. Ah, Kami! Thank you for being 13 months of titling, Kami, our in-house Raptor bartender. The Dapper Raptor returns once again. More happy 13 indeed. Did you guys know that Kami the Raptor won a mixology competition? I keep on flexing that every time. I think it's so fucking cool to know that one of my titlings won in a bartending competition. That's so fucking cool. Deep Blue, I miss you. Aww, so wholesome, Kami. The documents and stuff being saved on cloud storage instead of paper in a drawer. Ah, yes, that's true. But yeah, cloud storage can get pretty... physical space is definitely expensive nowadays too. Yeah, so virtual storage is great, especially cloud, although there's some costs to that too. But I like cloud storage. I've had one of my computers die on me before, so since then I've kind of trusted cloud storage a little bit more. Gauges to someone, thank you for being 9 months of titling on Twitch side. Thank you for subscribing for 9 months on Twitch side. It's crazy that you're subscribed on both. I mean, subscribed and member on both platforms. I want it for us for the cult. We're not a cult though, Kami. We're not a cult. You suddenly get really popular, but you have to admit being a cult, even if you are. What do you mean? What do you mean I have to admit being No, I can't be untrue to myself like that. The most I can do is that we're not a cult. Yet. Or we're a cult, but not yet. Okay, the latter sounds a little bit risky. It doesn't sound like PR correct. We're not a cult, guys. That is the PR correct answer. Speaking of Riz, I once asked a VTuber if she disliked chat's many marriage proposals. She said not at all. Then came a wall of marry me please. Damn, VTubers out there been getting marriage proposals. That's crazy. That's something I never knew. I thought it's just something that people do for fun at cons when VTubers do meet and greets. I didn't know it was like a common occurrence. That's cute though. I'll rate it on the patent pending. Yeehaw, scale trust. No! You'll just have to watch me play Uma Musume, Simply the Clown. I'm not going to impromptu do a Texan accent. There is a fiction podcast called Victoria's Lift, and the girl Victoria's posh British accent had me on a hold. It to this day is my favorite British accent. I wish I could do a proper posh British accent, but I really feel like I don't really do accents well. Yeah. Even when I used to play D&D, and also, wait, we have a hype train? Thank you for... Sorry, that was really loud. Thank you for starting a hype train, by the way. Guys on Twitch, thank you. Oh my god, it's the second hype train today. That's crazy. I feel like I'm really bad with accents. Even when I used to do D&D and I roleplayed a tad, I felt like my accents was shit. Most of the times I just end up defaulting to my usual voice and my usual accent. I can do voices, I guess, but accents are hard. I'm one whole baby on Twitch. Yes, you are. Who's a whole baby on Twitch? Sorry. The Mike and Ike. Hello and good morning to you. VTubers getting married, having kids. Jesus Christ. Yeah, imagine, right? I also saw you playing Uma Musume, my favorite sports anime for real. Have you played it, Kami? Long live to no waifu friends. What do you mean no waifu friends? Ah! Genjutsu-sama! Thank you for the... What? Thank you for the sub gifts on Twitch side. 10 subs gifted. And Sai, thank you for the sub gifted on Twitch too. Genjutsu-sama, if you do a support card pull next, your next 10 pull for a support card is gonna be an SSR. And Sai, thank you as well for the gifted. Your food order will not be delayed in serving. It will come out hot and toasty just the way you like it. Thank you. Thank you, generous tidelings, for your offerings towards the shrine. Okay. I mean, I think that honestly, VTubers with kids, nothing really changes about someone when they have a kid. Other than, well, I guess their lifestyle. I feel like they'd be the same person, no? I don't know how much hormones would affect someone. Scientifically speaking, when someone has a kid, would like both, I don't know, the family, whatever, the spouse and the person who birthed the child, to what extent would hormones affect them? That I don't know, but I feel like having a kid wouldn't really change someone, right? Taco Cat loves Taco. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Deep Blue. I think it should be normalized that, you know, a VTuber having a relationship, having kids, having a partner, being married, technically that's irrelevant to their content, no? Right? That's what I think. And that's what I'd like to. That's why, in general, I don't really divulge you guys in the details of my personal life because I feel like it's irrelevant. I want you guys to fully judge me only for my content and what I talk about and like whatever vibes you get from stream. Love your model. Thank you. I've seen every season and spin-off, but I haven't played the game. Please play the game, Kami, and show us your pulls. It's really fun. I can rate anything on the yeehaw scale. Okay, what should you rate on the yeehaw scale? Let me think. How would you rate Westworld on the yeehaw scale? Simply the clown? I watch a 40-something-year-old VTuber who has like 4 kids. She is cool and loves RPGs. Yeah, I think that's something. One of the things, like, I think some people kind of ask me why I don't really tell people where I'm from or where I currently reside at, or why I don't have any flags on my bio. It's because I don't really want people to subscribe to me, say because I'm Indonesian, you know, just purely because I'm Indonesian, because I have a flag on my profile, or because you know, or my age even. I don't want people to subscribe just because of my age. Although, you know, obviously you don't know how old I am, and if anything, I'm always older than you guys. That's all you guys know. Like, I just want people to like, if they like my stuff, it should be due to the unadulterated experience of my content and whatever I talk about and everything. And it should not, I think that's the purest form of appreciation when it comes to content creation. But maybe that's the idealistic side of me talking. Nine Horse, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Deep Blue. I don't really want to get into your personal life because I want to respect your privacy. I don't even get into my siblings' personal life in a similar vein. Yeah, I mean, it's much less doxing, honestly. Although I do appreciate that I do very much would like to keep my content creation life and my personal life separate. But yeah, other than that, one of the reasons I don't have flags or like much details about my personal life is because I just feel like it's irrelevant. Because back then, I felt when I used to IRL stream, I felt like it was very uncomfortable for me to be in a certain way of thinking where, oh my god, if I have a boyfriend, my chat will get jealous and they will unsubscribe. I had that phase back then when I IRL VTubed, and I'm like, wait, I'm very uncomfortable with this because it should be irrelevant. If you guys follow me, it should be for what I talk about, my content and how I stream, not because of my fucking, say, relationship, marital status or whatever, right? Or where I'm from. Those sort of things are technically irrelevant. So yeah, that's what it is. That's why all you guys have to know is that I'm a sea fox. I'm older than you guys. I may or may not be a god. I may or may not be ancient. I may or may not have been there during the creation of time. But what's definite is that we're not a cult. Visuary, thank you for the 5 gifted on Twitch side. God damn, thank you for your offerings towards the shrine. Thank you for your generosity. Let me think. Visuary, I hope that people will be openly kind to you and indulge you with very interesting conversations. Thank you, Visuary. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for being so generous to the Deep Blue. I know I've always said this, but I truly mean it when I say that you guys are really helping me with my 2.0 debut. Meanwhile, I just got recommended your channel. Thank you, and I hope if you decide to stay, you enjoy your time here at the Deep Blue Konto no Tenshi. Based on content and character. Yeah. You're a goddess from the ocean. That island country is just part of your domain. Yeah. Part of my domain, sure. It goes with parasocial relationships of certain types. 5 more of us indeed. Today we have actually gotten so many new titlings, hey? So many more titlings today. The YouTube algorithm has blessed me with this stream. You seem pretty cool. Well, thank you, Harrison. I hope you enjoy your time here. I watched another VTuber. She just normally talk about her new boyfriend, and chat is like, okay, I don't think there's something serious about that. Yeah, that's totally fine, I reckon. There's nothing wrong about that if I think the VTuber wants to talk about that or the content creator wants to talk about it. This is a personal opinion of mine, but I do feel like sometimes it gets... I'm trying to see if this is if there's a more correct way of saying this. But for me, sometimes I prefer it when content creators, once they have something new going on with their life, say they have a boyfriend or something like that, or they get married, and I like their content, but then suddenly they make that new happening their whole part of their identity and content, that I particularly don't like, just because mostly, hey, if I follow you for this reason, I'd appreciate it if I would love it if you would keep making this content. And thus naturally sometimes I would fall off with those kind of content creators. But it's not because of how would I put it? It's more because of it. It's mostly because it kind of changes their content rather than, okay, it changes them as a person sort of perspective, if you get what I mean. For example, if say there's a VTuber you like that likes talking about history, right? I don't know why I thought of history, just a random thing. And then suddenly they get a new boyfriend, and then suddenly their boyfriend is all that they talk about. I would get kind of mildly miffed. Just because, especially if I was there for their historical topics and historical yaps, right? But like I said, it's more of like a natural change in content creation. And it's not something that I would hold against them. And it's not something that I think anyone can blame them for. It's just, it is what it is, right? Maury, thank you for the follow. And I shall drink. Thank you for the hydrate. She was definitely present at creation. Hell yeah. Sure. I believe you, drunk scribe. You drive to work because in this economy, even a goddess needs an office job. Well, yeah, it's nice to not have, to be able to indulge in your hobbies and things that make you happy without worrying about it being your main source of income, right? Sure. Thank you guys for bringing the hype train up to level 5. You generous bunch. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for your generosity towards the Deep Blue. Exactly. I watch a lot of female VTubers and YouTubers, and I hate knowing their personal life or parasocial behavior to a creepy level. One of my favorite gaming YouTubers got bullied into quitting. Ooh, that sucks, dude. That sucks. Then there is people who get upset at the female YouTuber because even in a small stream, they could not respond to every single one of their messages in chat. Yeah. I don't know. Honestly, the whole streaming versus streaming and viewer sort of relationship, it's, I wouldn't say it's complex, but it's very subjective and contextual, right? Every single stream is different because every single stream has a different culture. And it's hosted by a different person. And every person has like different attention spans, different boundaries. And every person has different preferences. So sure, there is like general streaming etiquette and everything like that. But how would I put this? I don't know. Honestly, I don't really judge people for what they do on their streams. It's their streams after all, right? Mostly, I'm just like, okay, as long as they're not hurting anyone or the people around them, it's chill. So I don't really know. I don't really have much to say. That's why sometimes I see drama and sometimes I really have zero opinions about it. Like VTuber drama and everything. I just perceive and I don't have an opinion about it. I'll rate this stream as at a cool sunset breeze in a cow pasture on the yeehaw scale. A cool sunset breeze in a cow pasture. Thank you for your yeehaw scale appreciation. Thank you. Very kind to respond to us as much as you do. No, I don't think it's me being kind. I think if anything, I should be appreciative of you guys for being so active as you guys are. Although honestly, I do sometimes tend to accidentally gloss over some chat because I try to catch up with chat. So if anything, thank you guys for chatting. Because as much as maybe you guys think that VTubers are entertaining and everything like that, VTubers also strive on, not just VTubers, streamers. Streamers also strive off the energy of the live audience. So if you guys are chatty, the VTuber has more to kind of bounce off of. Content creator. Streamer, that's what I meant, not just VTubers. VTubing or any kind of content creation and an opportunity creates an opportunity to act a persona. You get a niche for developing that persona, and you always risk losing that niche by developing or even just changing it. I mean, that's how it is though, right? It's like you have a product and then the product changes. Of course, some people are gonna complain. It is what it is. Like I said, it's not like a good or bad thing. It's just an it is what it is thing. So, for example, I think one of the easiest examples is that VTubers who decide to show their face, right? Some VTubers prefer VTubers staying fictional or feel fictional, and you don't really care about what they look like IRL. Like me. That's what I like about my VTubers, but I also don't care if they decide to do that. But one of the reasons, I like VTubers because they're pixels. If a VTuber starts streaming IRL face, I would have to reconsider that because I like my fictional people. So when a VTuber decides to immersion break, quote unquote, and some people decide to unfollow, technically I don't think it's anyone's fault. I feel that the people who follow them have the rights to unfollow if that's not their preference. And I don't think the VTuber should fault the people who unfollow them for their preferences. It's not as if like, okay, you unfollowed me because you're if you unfollow me because I show my true self, you're a piece of shit. I personally don't think it's like that. It's because, I mean, it is what it is, you know? I've seen some tangents off of that, and yeah, that's what I think about it. Also, what the streamer is okay with. Oh wait, sorry, I missed some things. Sometimes you just can't. Sometimes streamers just can't respond. That might be annoying, but you can't really do much about it. Best thing is to appreciate whenever the streamer responds about you. Yeah. And I know that some people, for example, when it comes to chat, they tend to spam when their streamer doesn't respond to them. But some people, I also know that some people on the internet aren't particularly, say, maybe they don't understand or they don't particularly know social cues well, nor do they know the right etiquette, or say they haven't developed much on their self-awareness or emotional intelligence side. That's not a diss, by the way, it's just an observation. Thus, I think there is merit to just being transparent and honest and setting the boundaries outright. So if you feel that someone's annoying you, say they're spamming your chat for not paying attention to them, just say it out loud. As a streamer, as a content creator, just be like, hey, look, I can't read all chat. Please don't just make this about you. I'm trying my best. Please understand that sometimes I can't read chat and it is what it is. You know, just be blatant about it. I think that's what I try to do with my streams and how I handle content creation and community as well. I generally don't outright ban people because I feel like some people just don't know things or have not been exposed to certain experiences. Thus, I always give warnings first. But if they fail to heed the warning or they intentionally still do what they do despite the warning, that's a different story. I have the grounds to kind of ban them, right? But I do think that for me, at least in the way that I handle content creation and streaming, is that I try to be as direct and honest about whatever I'm uncomfortable with. I don't want to make it abstract. Because I don't want it to be misunderstood. Because I know that comprehension can be different from person to person. So as much as possible, I try to make it as simple to understand as possible. When they have a boyfriend or girlfriend, talking about it like a life update or when they feel like it and go back to the regular stream. I mean, it's whatever. They can talk about like their partner however they like, honestly. But I also feel like if it takes away from my experience watching their stream, where, for example, I want to watch them for playing Clair Obscur and then they spend the next 2 hours just talking about, say, their life when I was there for Clair Obscur, then I feel like it would be natural for me to kind of tune off. That sort of thing. Agreed also what the streamer is okay with matters, but some are a bit more open with that chat, which I like. But I like someone who sticks to the topic they started the channel for. Yeah. Thank you for sharing your time with us. No, thank you for chilling with me. Nevertheless, developing an online persona is an opportunity to improve that niche. I like VTubers because they get to say unhinged funny stuff and look cute at the same time. Yeah, see, all of us, I feel like VTubers for different reasons. For me, I just like fictional people in general. Yeah, I like the aesthetics of VTubers. That's why I like watching VTubers. And I enjoy watching... If I were to watch funny stuff, and I had the option of watching it in VTuber form or IRL person form, I'd prefer to watch it in VTuber form, just because I like fictional people. That's me. If you've been around enough VTubers, they should know the basics. That's fair. Yeah, sure. Hello, Chad. I like such a 3 strikes you're out rule. It feels more than fair, just instant ban. I don't usually give, like when it's live streams at least, I don't give up to like 3 strikes. I think when it's live streams, I do like 1 warning or 2 max, and then 3rd is just a ban if they keep on violating it. Saw a stream where a viewer was being racist, then his dad came and forced him to apologize live to the streamer. Dang. Oh, dad's looking up, looking out for the streamer. But that's just fucking... I feel like I could comment on it more if I know what the video was about. But like, honestly, the anonymity that the internet provides, the shroud of anonymity can be so bad, I feel like. And it can kind of encourage immature tendencies of a lot of people just because they can get away without a lot of consequences, eh? It's a decent way to experiment with self-expression as well. Like for me, I feel like VTubing has definitely given me the experience, the confidence to be more creative in general. For example, I got to sing more. I get to sing more. I get to do a lot of things more and explore, yap about topics that I wouldn't otherwise make videos about or maybe look into more about. I'm really happy with what VTuber has led me to do, or like let me do. And also the aesthetics that I get to explore. Oh, I love all that. I view VTubers no different than other types of streamers. I mean, technically they aren't. Truly, VTubers are just like content creators, but like it's just the packaging, you know? It's the same product, but different packaging. It's like, you know how you can have paracetamol in like liquid form or tablet form or something? It's something like that. It's basically content creators, but like with a different visual. I enjoy female streamers who choose to be VTubers, especially because then how they look becomes irrelevant, and it's more important that your vibe, personality, and content aligns with what I want. Honestly though, for me, looks kind of matter as a VTuber. Like I don't think I can watch a VTuber for a prolonged time if I don't like their aesthetics. But that's me, because I'm a very visual person. But I would agree that VTubing gives confidence in a sort of sense where you get to worry about your aesthetics more, like how you look more. You get to worry about how you look less. And then you just worry about, well, content creation and streaming and providing entertainment more. I guess that's part of the reason why some VTubers can be more funny as well. You get what I mean? Because you don't have to worry about how you look and how you look in front of the camera. My introvert, thank you for the membership gifted on YouTube side. Thank you. And I hope that your next croissant will be extra toasty and extra yummy. One of us indeed. Saw your video about watching other VTubers. Ah, yes. Why? Do you want to pay the toll fee of $10 for every hour of watching another VTuber? Is that what you want to do? Is it normal to find it difficult to watch one VTuber with even a grain of consistency? Like, I like their content and personality, but I forget so much. Nothing's wrong, man, I don't think there's any right or wrong with like whatever, however you prefer to enjoy entertainment, as long as it doesn't hurt anybody. It's up to you. I mean, I do have my favorite VTubers, but even I don't watch their content consistently because I'm a very booty sort of person with what I want to watch. Like even as of lately, the last time I watched a VTuber something like VTuber content is probably, I don't know, like 2 months ago or something. I really like your voice. Will you do more music projects in the future? Yes, I will. Yes, I will. Thank you, God hands. Like in the meantime, I'll do membership karaoke streams, hey? Hello, love your model. Especially the eye color. I've listened for a few minutes and you seem very composed and mindful. Speaking of aesthetics, have you perhaps played my favorite game, Bloodborne? I have not played Bloodborne, but I do like parrying mechanics. I assume... Wait, does Bloodborne have... Have I confused Bloodborne with a different game? What's the game mechanics of Bloodborne? Thank you though. Thank you for liking my model. And thank you for commenting on how I speak. My ear trumpet! Subichata, arigato! Forgive me, Noira, for I have sinned! I was kidding, but thank you for your generosity towards the deep blue and your offering towards the shrine. Your sins have been absolved. Thank you for paying the toll fee. Oh no, aesthetics matter, but you get to decide how you look, so that just happens naturally. That's true. But I also feel like, okay, when it comes to the aesthetics of VTubers, it's an it is what it is thing, but not everyone has an eye for design and visuals and aesthetics, right? And also, even when someone does, it might not be your preference. So their preference might not match your preference. And that sort of thing. So as much as I think someone says that VTubers, it takes away the aesthetic side, the visual side of streaming and content creation, I don't think it's technically true. I mean, it's true to the extent that people, the content creator gets to worry less about how they look and how it matters to how people judge their content, yes. But visuals still definitely play an aspect into it, hey? I do like a good croissant. It's $10 per hour, Nora. Is there any other way I can pay? With your loyalty. I'm kidding. No. Look, it's okay. You can watch other VTubers, okay? I don't get mad. I'm a generous and merciful God. Don't worry. Like I said, I know there are some VTubers out there that might fit a certain vibe for a certain time of the day. Maybe for nighttime, you want something that's a little bit more energetic and like horror games, or someone who's just screaming at the top of their lungs. Maybe for midday, you want someone who does dark jokes and everything. And hey, that's up to you guys. And if you find someone else who can kind of cater to that need, it is what it is. Yes, I am a benevolent God. And yes, seriously, it's fine, guys. But thank you. Thank you for letting me go on that tangent. It makes me feel all powerful. The fact that I say that I can make a rule that I can extract toll fees from people who, well, are disloyal to me makes me feel all powerful. I'm a step closer to becoming a villain. I love watching you because it's so chill here. Wait until you see me play like games with cute people. I scream. It's Dark Souls, but in England and with guns. What do you mean it's Dark Souls and in England and with guns? What? That is not the Dishonored that I've heard about. I mean, sorry, Dishonored. Bloodborne. Yeah. I don't think I've had a proper idea of Bloodborne then, hey. I should check Bloodborne out. But hey, if it's Dark Soulsy, meaning I assume there are parry mechanics, then I'd be down for it, honestly. Or dodge. I don't mind. Actually, because of Clear Obscure, I have preferred parry. But in general, when it comes to gaming and it requires reactive stuff, I always go for dodge over parry. I don't know. I just like feeling like a rogue and agile and shit, you know? Like, you would be able to see it when I play Black Myth Wukong. The only thing I do is dodge. I love dodging. And even when I play Elden Ring, which is a while back, and Armored Core, you would see that all I do is dodge. Green Aziz, thank you for the raid. Raid is welcome. I am Noira, the sea fox who serves Sea Fox oneesan, who serves live talks on the rocks. How is this stream? Let me give you a shout out. Thank you for the raid though, and welcome raiders. Genshin Impact. How was Genshin Impact? For me specifically, when I was younger, I caught myself not giving YouTubers content a chance because they were not considered pretty or handsome conventionally, at least in my eyes. Ah yes, but we do grow and our values change and our preferences change, right? Random dude. Do I get a discount on the toll if I only watch clips? Do you? Let me think. I'll come back to you in 24 hours or so. I'll come back to you in a dream, perhaps, to deliver the message, to deliver the rules. I'll deliver the update via your dream, Shu. Who are some VTubers you like? I like Kuzuha and Kanae. Those are VTubers I like. I like Giga. I don't really watch many VTubers, hey? I watch a lot of Kuzuha. Out of all the VTubers I've watched, I think I've watched Kuzuha the most. Yeah. Other than that, I mean, I watch some of my friends because they're great. Like Hyaku, for example. I watch Hyaku quite often. I used to watch a lot of my friends, but like nowadays my lifestyle doesn't really let me do that. But yeah, I barely watch VTuber stuff nowadays mostly. Yeah, I really don't. In Bloodborne there is parry mechanics, but with how do you parry with a gun, dude? How does that work? Is she rapping again? Yes, I am rapping again, Grin. 11 hours of Genshin? How do you even power through 11 hours of Genshin? That's fucking crazy. Also, Tidelings, if you'd like to watch some Genshin stuff, don't forget to check Grin out. Very sleepy. Have a good one, Decatonic. Thanks for spending some time at the Deep Blue. I'm sure it's better than Big Chance. I ended up having to leaving to work on big rigs. Wait, what are you talking about? You learn the ancient art of Gunfu? Gunfu, is that kind of like... There's this anime recently that's called like Moonfall. I think it's kind of directed by one of the guys who made Full Metal Alchemist, if not the guy who made Full Metal Alchemist. And I think they have a decent amount of gunfu in that anime. I would assume that's what it's kind of like. Not a fan of grinding, so I just enjoy the story instead. I've never really gotten into Genshin. So I can't really say much about Genshin. But hey, 11 hours, that's quite something, dude. That's crazy. I don't think I could ever play a game for 11 hours anymore nowadays. You have one of the best VTuber models I've ever seen. Oh my god, thank you. That's a big compliment. Thank you. Finally caught your stream. Hello, Octavia. I hope I'm saying that right. How are you? Some breaks in between too. Still, 11 hours is crazy. Like, even with subathons, yeah. I don't know how people do subathons. Even, I can't imagine... I can't imagine doing a subathon. I can't imagine sleeping with my stream on. And I can't imagine waking up and just going back to stream. I cannot. I can't imagine dedicating myself to a stream that much. It just feels so... the idea of it sounds so torturous. That's probably why you guys notice I never do subathons. It's too much. Even the only subathon I've done was like, I think during debut, like this model, like when I first debuted as a VTuber as a Sea Fox. That was the first time I did a subathon. Even then I didn't do like continuous ones. I only did like what, 3 days of a subathon or something. How else do you do a Pokemon sleep stream? People do Pokemon sleep streams. I've never tried Pokemon sleep, by the way. Is it cute? It is a nice model that's simply designed with flares to be more unique. Yeah, that's what I like, right? I think a simple design goes a long way, right? I saw a VTuber doing 11 hours walking on a treadmill and singing while playing a guitar. Are you... What? That does not... that does not sound healthy, because 11 hours of singing, what the fuck does that do to your vocal cords? Holy shit. Weekend subathon? I can't. I really can't. I can't do subathons. Unfortunately, nowadays with my lifestyle, I have too many things to do within the day to be able to hold a continuous subathon or like continuous stream. Like even streaming more than 3 hours or 4 hours usually has its consequences for me. Like even when I do like membership streams of 3 hours, it's on the weekends, it has its consequences. Just because nowadays I feel like my weeks are pretty packed. So it means I have to kind of sacrifice something when I do add extra hours to my streams. I've seen a few when Pokemon Sleep first came out. Maybe I should try Pokemon Sleep, eh? 11 hours of singing, you sound like a Red Dead character with a gravel voice. Not even, I think you just lose your voice altogether. And I don't know, I hope it doesn't affect your voice permanently, hey? One of my regulars just did a 10k step stream this morning while singing. That's so crazy, dude. I can't imagine that. That's so wild. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't think I could ever. I also feel like if I were to do like 11 hours of stream, I'd probably run out of things to talk about, mayhaps. Of course, if I'm doing it whilst playing a game, I think I won't run out of things to talk about because I'd always have something to say. But if it's, say, for example, can you imagine 11 hours of just chatting? What the fuck do you even talk about? Do you like singing? Singing? Yes, I do. Though I do think that I'm not the best with singing. Which is why I'm so happy that like some V singers like Kale and Sen have asked me to do a cover with them. I'm so happy that I got invited to collaborate with them. I even like said her to Kale, I'm like, Kale, thank you for asking me to be part of doing the cover for Golden. I'm really happy. It means a lot to me, seriously. Because, you know, if you guys have been here for a while, you know how insecure I am of my singing in general. 30k steps. That's crazy. 30k steps. I saw a video of someone who did like oh no, he did like 50k steps a day, and he ended up, his feet would always swell and have bruises whenever he did 50k steps a day. He did it for like a whole month or something like that. I can't remember. Was it 50? 15? I don't remember. I don't remember whose video that was, but like excessive walking can be pretty bad too. Especially if you do it with a shitty posture, by the way. I remember when I hiked, oh my god, my hip got so fucked up, dude. Because I hiked with horrible walking posture. And it affected my hip for like quite a while. And since then, my hip started hurting. It's only like recently yesterday that my hip stopped working. Stopped hurting, sorry. It was a pretty long, I wouldn't say injury. It ended up with a long-lasting pain. Mazerat, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Deep Blue. Your vocals are great. Still, whatever you guys think about my vocals, I'm still very insecure about it. I don't know why. I'm trying to figure that out too. But thank you though. Thank you. If you like how I sing, thank you. Seriously. It doesn't sound weird, but my pleasure of the last 3 days is looping your cover of Can't Help Falling in Love. Oh my god, really? Thank you. Because like the stuff I put up on membership stream, they're not mixed, meaning they're just raw vocals. That's why I put it on membership, because I'm too shy to put it out in public. So thank you for actually liking it. Jumper, super chat, arigato. The contribution to Noira's hip replacement fund. Will I then become a cyberpunk sea fox once I replace my hips? And then I can maybe do crazy jumps. Like, you know how in cyberpunk you can replace your legs for the ones that let you do double jumps? Am I gonna suddenly be able to double jump when I do hip replacement? Thank you. Super chat, arigato. Thank you for your offering towards the shrine, and I hope that when you wake up tomorrow morning, you're going to be able to do so with good energy. And the sun is going to shine just right on you. YouTube channel, so I subscribe. Thank you, Grin, for subscribing on YouTube side too. I will stand by the stage until I die. You have such a beautiful singing voice. Thank you, Sheena. God damn it, you guys, stop complimenting me. Yes, we do need to time check. I wonder if your hip will hurt less now that you know how to properly breathe. Sheena, actually, like I said, my hip pain is actually gone since I've been properly breathing. Actually, I haven't told you guys about this, but since you guys are still here, let me tell you guys about this. Since I said it yesterday. Extra high! Thank you for the cheer. Thank you for offering towards the shrine. Small contribution for your hip. I feel you. Thank you, Extra high. Hey, I hope that your hip won't hurt as much when you wake up tomorrow morning. Okay, listen. I enjoy your singing even if you don't think it's great. Thank you, Sly. So, I just want to tell you guys what I did recently. Funds for Noira's physical therapy. That's crazy that you guys are... Are you guys really sending me funds to get a fucking cyberpunk hip replacement? Sayagan, super chat arigato. Thank you for your super chat and your offering towards the shrine. Sayagan, I hope that your lower back doesn't hurt. Ah, is that a new titling? Luan, thank you for becoming a titling on YouTube side. Can we get a warm welcome, please, for Luan, our newest titling? One of us indeed. Thank you, Luan, for becoming officially a titling. Thank you. You're one of us now, Luan. You're one of us. So I was telling chat yesterday, right? I was mind blown because I figured out, I tried out this thing where I changed the way I breathed. So right now, put a hand on your chest and your belly, right? And breathe normally. And breathe normally and tell me when you breathe, which one rises when you breathe? Is it your chest or is it your stomach? Is it your tummy that rises when you breathe? Ah, super chato. Arigato, Octavia. Cyberfox. Thank you for your offering towards the shrine. And let's see, what's a blessing I can have for you? I hope that the traffic isn't too bad for you tomorrow. Thank you, Octavia, for your offering towards the shrine. Cybernetic hip must deploy a pistol or fire a laser. That's crazy. Sure. All right, so why I asked that is because I've been definitely not my ribcage area. So if you guys are breathing, when you guys breathe and it's your chest and shoulders that rise, it means you do chest breathing. If you guys breathe and it's your belly that kind of rises, that means you guys do diaphragm breathing or stomach breathing or belly breathing. So I recently, the day before, yesterday, 2 days ago then, I had this calisthenics session, which kind of told about the importance of breathing through your belly, or like diaphragm breathing, and how it can kind of reduce your injuries and pain. This is also said to me during a Pilates class that I had recently as well. They say you need to do belly breathing, and then it can kind of, basically it can reduce a lot of pains, especially for your lower back, they say, when you do workouts and everything. So I decided to do it when I was in the car. And I found out that my lower back pain, my hip pain that I've always had since I hiked, right? That hip pain was like instantaneously gone after I did a few breaths. So when you breathe, try to breathe into your diaphragm. You can look up how to do it on YouTube or anything. And then feel your belly when you breathe. And you'll notice that, and you can actually find out, I did a quick research about it, quick study about it via looking up a few resources, and it is said that breathing in such a way can actually help you alleviate lower back pain almost instantaneously, studies say. And it also helps really with your neck muscles and your shoulder, because when you breathe with your chest, it kind of makes your chest flare up and rise, and also lifts your shoulder, which strains your shoulder and neck muscles. And because your rib cage is kind of flared up and moves up, it kind of places a strain on your lower back and mayhaps also hip area because of the thing that it does to your posture. So Your breathing can affect your posture and may also be the source of your lower back, shoulder, and neck pain. Isn't that crazy? That shit was like mind-blowing to me. Like all this time I've been alive, I've been breathing fucking wrong. It's fucking crazy. Sheena, super chat arigato. Thank you for your super chat and your offering towards the shrine. Noira is super cute and has a pretty voice. No, you, Sheena. Thank you, Sheena. And hey, Sheena, I hope lower back pain never happens to you. So we have to learn breathing techniques. Yes, doesn't it sound like a lot from like Kimetsu no Yaiba? You would know how to breathe like this if you did swimming, I think, or like singing, such things. You know, sometimes they would teach how to diaphragm breathe or breathe through your belly. But to me, at least, nobody has told me that it could be a thing for you to do on your day-to-day. Like you should just make it your default method of breathing. Nobody has ever told me that. So when I tried it out, and it worked, it blew my mind. So hey, hopefully it works for you guys too. Start breathing from your belly and all. Breathing properly is good. It is very good. And did you know that breathing with your belly is 7 times more efficient than breathing with your chest? It takes in more oxygen. And when you have less oxygen, it can kind of deprive your muscles of oxygen, and also can cause you migraines and everything like that, right? So there are some things that I have read as well that kind of points towards how breathing properly with your belly can kind of contribute to like having less migraines and muscle strains too. Started focusing on my breathing while at work yesterday while lurking during stream. Always a good reminder. Yeah, if it works well for you guys, tell me all about it, okay? Learning with Noira, now my evening is relaxing and useful. That's how we like to have it at the Deep Blue, right? Ichi no kata. Water breathing technique. Drown. Waterboarding. Does belly breathing mean you breathe with the mouth? No, it does not. You can breathe with your nose or mouth, though ideally it should be via your nose. You should only breathe with your mouth when, say, you're doing like extraneous exercise or something. Generally, you should always breathe with your nose because mouth breathing is generally bad. So when you breathe through your nose, sorry, I have like sniffles right now, but okay, you breathe through your nose. You feel when the air goes through your nose, it should fill your belly. Your belly should expand, and you should even feel it towards your back. So it should be like a 360, almost as if you have a floaty, you know? If you want more tips on how to do that, you can do a quick Google search or like YouTube search. Anyway, we are over time. We should call it. And so we gotta call it, guys. We are over time by 30 minutes. Probably because I have a lot of energy since I had too long of a nap today. Thank you guys for joining in for the Deep Blue today. I hope you guys enjoyed your time here. If you guys did, I'd appreciate it if you drop a follow if you're on Twitch, or subscribe if you're on YouTube. And also, if you guys haven't already, do join into the Discord, since there you can hang out with the other titlings. You can also get notifications for my content, be it streams or my uploads. You can also have thoughtful conversations with the other titlings and good vibes all around. And we even have like a dedicated space for celebrating the little things in life. So if that sounds like your kind of thing, do join in the Discord. It is in the description below in the panels, or you can go to discord.gg/Noira. You can get all the updates about me too. Oh, and recently we also celebrated an achievement, a milestone, which is we reached 700 members. 700 members on Discord, which is fucking crazy, isn't it? So yeah, you can join in with the other tidings there. Well, yeah, Trumpet, thank you for being a tiding for 10 months on YouTube side. Thank you, 10 months. You are the best Sea Fox. Well, thank you. I am the best and one and only Sea Fox indeed. Thank you, thank you. I stream 3 times a week. That's every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And that's at 10 p.m. GMT plus 8 if you're in Southeast Asia. That's at 7 or 9 a.m. if you're in the US, or 3 or 4 p.m. if you're in the EU. That's without daylight savings. And if you want to find out more about me, you can via my website at noira.me. We also have a subreddit if you want to check that out. It's at r/Noira. Thank you, guys. It was a good yap with you guys today. We had a lot of fun conversations. We had a lot of discussions ranging from, say, philosophical discussions and topics about my videos such as values, principles, and even quantum physics. Quantum physics at one point, which is crazy. And then we talked about, I don't know, a lot of things really. And I truly enjoyed it and I appreciate it. Thanks, guys. All right, let me find someone to raid. I hope you guys had a chill time here at the Deep Blue. For everyone who's new here, actually, let me reintroduce myself. I am Noira, the Sea Fox oneesan who serves live talks on the rocks. And I hope I get to see you again if you enjoyed the vibes here today. Now, who shall we raid today? Breathing with Noira, imagine. Am I a breathing coach now? Let us raid into... let's see. Let's see. You know what? I don't get to do this often, but Seika is currently streaming and she is playing Uma Musume. So this is perfect. So let's raid into Seika. Raid Seika. And I know you guys would love to watch some Uma Musume, right? Breathing with Noira voice pack? Why would you want to listen to me breathe? Yes, you can actually watch... You can actually access all my voice packs for $1 if you're subbed on Twitch side. Once again, thank you guys. I enjoyed my time here with all of you guys. So thank you for your patronage. And I'll see you next time, hey? Have a good one. Sayonara. See you on the flip side. Bye.